Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit see the best in KC.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
When the cold sets in across KC, AB May is the trusted name for keeping your home warm, safe, and secure. From furnace repairs to system replacements, we deliver reliable solutions and unmatched care and professionalism. Whether it's a sudden breakdown or routine maintenance, AB May is here to help. Trusted by generations of Kansas City homeowners, we're committed to doing things the right way every time. Call AB May at 913-732-9993 or visit us at abmay.com.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
The NFL playoffs are here, and Heed the Call NFL podcast with Dan Hansis and Mark Sessler is your destination for coverage of every round, from Wild Card Weekend to Super Bowl Sunday.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we have fun. No fake hot takes, just entertaining football talk from your favorite buds at the bar.
Wait, Mark, which bar?
Well, like the typical neighborhood bar. We're the witty sports guys at a place like that.
Ah, I like that. Follow and listen to Heed the Call wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, Royals fans, it's Vern. I'll be broadcasting live from Royals Rally on Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9 a.m. as I sit down with the biggest names in the organization before they head off to spring training. This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
And welcome to After Hours for the next 3 hours. Jay Binkley with Nathan Williams, man. Real pleasure, Nate. Real pleasure, my friend. It's been hit or miss with me and you. Obviously, you got married. I've been able to go, but it was recently. So you've had a busy time. I know you're working in the mornings tomorrow, but you're here with me tonight. So I appreciate it, my friend.
Man, it seems like something always comes up, doesn't it, Bink? So
we've
had this date circled on the calendar. It's going to be a quick 3 hours, but yeah, it's great to be here with you, man.
I appreciate that. Do you enjoy I know you're a big baseball guy. You're a huge baseball guy.
Of course.
Matter of fact, when it comes to baseball, Vern, obviously, say no more. That's drop mic moment, Josh Vern here, when you talk Major League Baseball and the Kansas City Royals. But Nathan comes up real quick there.
Man, that's about as nice of a thing as you could have said about me,
in
Bink.
the pairing with Vern and Nathan.
This?
Well, I'm just saying, you know your crap, man. You always do. In NFL, doesn't matter. NFL, doing stuff on 1660, but baseball is your jam as well. And we gonna have a place to play in 2031, or is
nobody wants them, do they?
Huh?
I mean, the Chiefs. Yeah, I mean, listening to CDOT on the day of the stadium news, he talked about the Chiefs being the belle of the ball and the Royals just being sort of there when the clock strikes midnight.
It's a full court press for Missouri to keep them at this point. And you sit there and you look at the stadium proposals, whether Kansas is like, nah, we're done negotiating or whatever. Then Northtown, which you don't know. You would think that other cities and municipalities would get involved in it because that's better for the Royals when more teams are bidding or more places are bidding on it. Because one thing you want to do is you want to keep Nashville thinking Tennessee still and Utah thinking Utah things. And this is just reality. But when bad things happen, poachers that were on the phone the next day with the Chiefs and Royals after the vote, or probably that same night as soon as the results were released, don't think they're not watching.
Yeah, of course. I still think Mr. Sherman, I think we're lucky that he cares that he's from the area.
Same.
I'm not trying to be on here thumping for billionaires, and, we've seen the other billionaire make a money move, and that's fine.
But if he was from out of state, that'd be a real concern.
That's exactly where I was going. I'd be much more concerned about that if he wasn't a local guy. So, no, I think downtown still could very well be the end game, despite everything they've pushed out about Kansas, considering a lot of the news about, not renewing the Star bonds, not pushing that deadline back. So we'll see. But we've got a lot. Despite this taking so long, we've still got a long way to go.
I talked to Vern earlier. Of course, he's getting ready for Hot Stove that begins this week. This week at 6 p.m. You happen to be on the Hot Stove show, Nathan? Are you doing other things?
I don't. I think I want to say Julio does the Hot Stoves
Thursday
with
night.
Vern.
Julio.
Yeah. So I think that'll be Julio Sanchez. But no, I'll be tuned in. I'll be locked in.
Yeah, Vern's vacation. I guess that's still mostly going on. Although any kind of arbitration news or anything else, which it'll be Vinny now and Chris Bubich that didn't come to a deal.
That's
so
right.
We'll be going through that whole arbitration hearing when you have to sit there and listen to how much you suck for hours. And, players, they don't like it at all. And I don't blame them. And the team doesn't like it either. Like, who wants to really sit there and hear how much you suck for a long time? Even though, technically it happens.
Yeah,
you don't want it to.
JJ Piccolo continues to be the antithesis of everything Dayton Moore did, which is so interesting because they worked so closely together. And it's for better or worse. Until Brandon effing Maurer, however you say that name, came along and screwed things up, Dayton Moore made a real point. You had to suck so bad for Dayton Moore to want to take you to arbitration. He did everything he could to avoid those hearings for,
like
a decade and a half? It was unheard of.
They've done a pretty good job of it now as far as only two guys.
They have, but you've still got your first baseman that knocks in 100 runs a season fighting over $500,000.
16 guys in Major League Baseball with over 100 ribs. Is that about right? 16?
Something like that,
and 2 were with the Royals, which is insane.
And Vinny would have sailed past that number last year as well without the injury down in Houston. I think he had 97 with a month left.
He would have, because they were the first team to have 4 guys over 80, first team to have 4 guys over 90.
Yeah.
They would have been the first team with 4 guys over 100.
Yeah, 3
but
guys.
Then Vinny got hurt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it would have been 4, right? Because it would have been Bobby, Sal, and Vinny.
In 2024, it was the 3 of them.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
And, I don't think it's going to affect Vinny's happiness or his outlook or his clubhouse presence. I'm stunned that they are going to arbitration, that they're going to a hearing over this number. I'm not on team pay Vinny Pasquantino long term. Okay, so I'm on the team side in terms of saving the dollars. Despite loving Vinny Pasquantino, and I'm happily paying him $4.5 million this next year. Happily, I can't believe $500,000 is taking them to a hearing.
Well, the good news is Vern goes out to Arizona here in a couple weeks. He has that Royals rally he'll be doing live here on 96.5. Of course, you can hear all the Royals baseball games. Yeah, the TV deal is a little messed up at this point. I don't know if you watch it on your FanDuel, but they're having a little bit of issues. 9 teams involved in that and payments and everything else. So we are in 2026. I get that, but I think it's all going to be streamed at some point, and I figure they'll probably make it either free or very reasonable. I don't know. They do things special that first year. So we'll see what happens during that. But I know Vern's going to be heading out to Arizona. But spring training is a little bit weird because all the main stars of this team are all going for the World Baseball Classic, which that is a ton of fun to watch. That World Baseball Classic is fun.
The last 2 times around, I think of Ohtani striking out Trout to end it a couple years ago. That's just and they were teammates still at the time. So just the best player from this hemisphere and the best player from that hemisphere going head-to-head for country in the bottom of the 9th for the World Baseball Classic Championship. And then the one before that, I think about the tag on that Javi Baez laid down on that throw down from Molina. And
Hosmer was on that team.
Hosmer's on that team. Adam Jones is robbing home runs.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And those guys get so amped up to play. Last year Vinny and Nicky Lopez.
Coach DeRosa gets them ready to roll, man.
Coach Rosa here in the USA. Yeah, I mean, it's those guys really get up for that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
I am too, and I'll be honest with you. How much do you think that helped Bobby? I mean, Bobby's already a star in the making at that point, but to be on a team with guys like Trout and all the stars, I mean, there were stars all over the place. Locker room, I mean, there was so much knowledge you can get from other players, obviously not on your team because you're clearly the best player on the Kansas City Royals. Not that you can't get, knowledge and information from Sal Perez and all that, but to be in that locker room with those guys, I think that, I can't say it helped Bobby Wood Jr. because the guy was going to be a superstar regardless, playing it or not, but that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you get the corny shot every year in the All-Star game of some guy talking to Clayton Kershaw for 5 minutes, and the reporters are asking him, hey, what did he teach you about your curveball? And it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Much different when
games
games
stretch that
count.
out over 2 weeks and you play more games and you get to know those guys better. I would liken it more to having playoff atmosphere type experience that he didn't have for the first couple of years of his career. So I don't know, maybe there is something to that. He was definitely a star in the making at that time. Those atmospheres, as you get later on in that tournament, they are legit. I mean, the fans turn out for that. The players get up for it. So I can't sit here and say either that he got nothing from it. There's probably something he took away from that.
Dude,
Absolutely.
We've got the Olympics. We've got that rolling on. I mean, I know we have football carrying us through till February 9th. We get the Senior Bowl.
Oh, but football's not. I mean, football.
That
I'll
week
cut you off
before.
right there. You got the combine and free agency and the draft. Football is going to carry you to May. I mean, it just does.
We always get sad and get in the fetal position when football ends, but it clearly never does. Now, I know with the Chiefs, they always carry you to the Super Bowl that first week of February. But this year, the whole coaching staff can go enjoy themselves at the Senior Bowl. They can go watch the East-West Shrine game a couple days before the Senior Bowl takes place. And then, of course, you've got the combine and everything else that clearly they always go to. So you have that. You'll have the Olympics.
Right,
You've
the
got
Olympics.
baseball starting. You got the World Baseball Finals this summer. You got the World Cup. I mean, yeah, being a sports fan right now does not suck. Does not suck, my friend Nathan. Does not suck at all. And it's just like Connor Emery when they Chiefs wide receiver coach that was let go, that they're making moves there. At least there's that. So he's leaving, and you always hear about stories like DeAndre Hopkins and Kelsey and stuff helping those younger receivers. You need a good mix. You need the veteran players and the coach. Chris and I just got done recording Character Concerns, which is the draft show that comes out each and every week throughout the season. I mean, maybe in the summer you're bored with it or whatever, but we're not. So we keep doing it through the summer.
How many times did you say the words Tate and Lemon tonight?
A lot. But we were talking about receiver coaches, and just for fun, we're sitting out there thinking about some wild things. And you think about Deshaun Jackson.
Careful, it's a PG show, family show.
No, I mean football-wise. You think of Deshaun Jackson, who's now a head coach. He was at high school, now he's at Delaware State. And it's like, you start thinking these things and thinking, man, like Andy Reid, the guy had speed, the guy could figure out how to create space, and it's like, and it's not far-fetched. We saw Chip Kelly going from a head coach to an offensive coordinator. So a man can dream. A man can dream.
If he has aspirations of becoming something in the NFL, in terms of the coaching position, that's absolutely the first step is clinging on to a guy that he knows, getting in as a position coach, probably not making that leap to coordinator right away. Deshaun Jackson is not a guy that I knew was interested in coaching. I learned just now that he's a coach in college thanks to you.
He's a coach now, so if you're a coach now and you're 39 years old, that means...
Well, and look, we have the big conversation has been, will he hire someone outside of his tree? And so Deshaun Jackson's a great example of someone that he's familiar with.
All that responsibility they have. I get that. But it's another opportunity to go be with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, be in the National Football League, be at the end-all, be-all that you want to get to, the place you want to get to. And maybe it's too early at this point. And this isn't just saying that you have to play in the league to be a coach, because, you don't have. Andy Reid didn't play in the league, and he's a good coach. But I think there is a respect level from players.
Well, put some respect on punt, pass, and kick champion Andy Reid.
Right, okay. Right. But he had that cred built up because he'd already been to the Super Bowl and all that with Philadelphia. So he had that kind of credit. He was never a coordinator, by the way. He was never a coordinator. We got hired in Philadelphia. So you don't necessarily have to be coordinator. We'll talk about this stuff later. Like Nathan Shieldhouse.
He's about to take the same jump. That's right.
Head coaching interviews and stuff like that. It's going to take a special person to come to Kansas City because you're going to have to check your ego in. Be a little Alex Smithish and understand that, that Mahomes is drafted to take your place. As an offensive coordinator, you understand the buck still stops with Big Red.
It does, but Jackson is the perfect fit of currently outside of the Chiefs tree, won't have the groupthink that we're bogged down in right now, but also is familiar with Andy and could work alongside him due to that familiarity. I'll tell you this, I want Deshaun Jackson coaching Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, I don't know. I have
match.
no idea if he's interested. I do know that I think he and Andy still have a pretty good relationship as far as that's concerned. But 2024, he was a high school football offensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach at Delaware State. I'm just saying, you start getting that call, and I know Andy Reid brings a lot of guys in to training camp, to intern with the team, and he brought in, outside forces like Antonio Pierce last year and John Gruden, and he picks their brain. I'm just thinking sometimes you got to think outside the box. And you think, all right, who worked well with the coach? Who has speed? Who could help this group of receivers? Who would have their instant respect when they went to the sideline? All these things matter.
Even if he doesn't want to be a wide receiver coach in the NFL, get that guy to PAC camp or whatever the camp is this year because he's going to be rehabbing his ACL. Get him to training camp as a consultant, a la Antonio Pierce. Yeah, Deshaun Jackson is exactly the voice I want in the ear of Xavier Worthy. He's exactly the person.
Yeah, Camp Pat's been so instrumental, and I think more and more quarterbacks will start doing it at some point. I mean, I know a lot of times quarterbacks get together with receivers on high school fields or college fields and do things, but he takes it to another level. So much so that they were down there and Andy let him skip OTAs once. And so they were able to zoom in with the coaching staff and stuff, the stuff that they're working on. But to be honest with you, that stuff's probably more important than being back here as far as, building up that chemistry with your teammates.
It is, but based on the way this season went and Patrick Mahomes not having a healthy knee right now, I got to think the wide receivers aren't going to have it so lax and easy during the OTA times this year. It's probably a little more fire under their rear in that wide receiver room.
They need 100% pure pass catchers with this football team. We got a playoff game tonight, Pittsburgh Steelers. By the way, did you know they are 23-0 at home during Monday Night Football? That's their 23-0.
I did.
At home.
Don't think any of those include the playoffs, right? Because they've only been doing this Monday night game for 2 or 3 years now.
It's only since 92. See, that's only since 92. They're 23-0 since 92 at home.
Yeah, small sample size, only 34 years. No, they are good at home on Monday Night Football. Everything in this game makes me lean Houston. I know we're going to get into it here soon. But, yeah, you can't deny the Mike Tomlin Monday night effect.
You want something real and tangible, not like you want real and tangible, and that's what you're going to get with this team. We'll talk more and more about it. By the way, the Texans are 0-6 on the road in the playoffs, so something's got to give. I do think the Texans obviously are better than the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it's the playoffs, and we saw some weird crap happening this past weekend that we'll get into next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Fellas, listen up. It's 2026, and this is going to be your best year yet when it comes to sex. You know why? Because you're finally going to take the advice and try chewable tablets from Blue Chew. Blue Chew's tablets help you feel and perform at your best, stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Be more confident where it counts. Blue Chew is a small chew for a big difference. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days, and dating has just got longer and better for everyone. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient for your individual prescription. Just like how we love to watch the athletes that we root for show up during the game's most exciting moments, you should be able to show up when it matters during life's most exciting moments. You can discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use the promo code KFNZ at checkout. You just got to cover $5 for shipping. That's it. Go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code KFNZ, and get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
With 2 kids in high school involved in a lot of activities, our time, just like yours, is very valuable. That's why we love the convenience of ordering our groceries with Hy-Vee's Aisles Online. It's so easy. Just download the app or go to Hy-Vee.com. Choose your store and select your items, and Hy-Vee will do all the shopping. All you have to do is pick up your order or have it delivered to your home. It is so simple. It is so convenient. And for families like ours that are so busy, Hy-Vee Aisles Online hits the spot every single time. Save time and save money only at Hy-Vee.
Brr, it might be cold outside, but the deals are heating up inside your Kansas City area Hy-Vee. This Friday through Sunday, stock up on hot deals throughout the entire store, like Pepsi 6-pack bottles for $2.99, bone-in pork roast $1.88 a pound, Hormel bacon just $2.99, and Progresso soup only $1.25. Stay at home, order through aisles online, and leave the shopping to us. Save time, save money during the 3-day sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circus Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600-plus miles of range. What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Expect mostly clear skies tonight with a low of 38.
Weather brought to you by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business. Like up to $100 off custom print orders. Head into the new year looking good for less. Staples. That was easy. Ends 1/31.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Nathan Williams producing the operation. Got the TVs rocking and rolling to some Monday Night Football playoff style. If you like the Monday night games, it does shorten the week for the players, which a lot of players don't like it. You know who's getting jobbed to San Francisco? Because they played on Sunday, they got to turn around and play on Saturday, but go out to Seattle to do it.
I'm not worried about that at all.
I'm not worried about that at all. I just would rather be in the playoffs. But no, I got the TVs on. I think I got those Jeep commercials. And what do those rubber duckies mean, man? Like when you get a Jeep, everybody's got rubber duckies all over the place. What does that? I mean, I don't have
how
one.
it started. I don't know. I mean, I know it's like a mating call between Jeep owners.
Okay.
It's. The thought is you can access the inside of the vehicle when it's parked and the owner's not there. Like a Jeep is distinguishable. Hey, I should toss something in there and show, hey, another Jeep owner was here. I don't get why it's fun. I don't.
So you toss a rubber ducky.
Yeah, you see them all over the dashboards.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to get rubber ducks that are like different and unique. And if you see a Jeep without that duck, put one on the dash. When it's parked. I don't know why it started.
Is it all Jeeps or is it?
Yeah, you have reached the capacity of my knowledge.
Rubicons? Okay.
The extent of my knowledge is done. Yeah.
I was just curious about it. But anyway, did you watch the playoffs this weekend? Because it was a fantastic 5 days full of football, 2 games of college football playoffs, leading right into Wild Card Weekend. It's still going on tonight with Pittsburgh and Houston. It's going to be a ton of fun. I thought this weekend was great. I'm not like these Colin Cowards of the world to go, well, we're still good even without the Chiefs in it. I'm sitting there going, man, that is a trollish thing to say. That is a trollish thing to say that people are like, oh, the playoffs are still good even without the Chiefs. And I'm sitting there going, okay, ask the networks that. They're the ones that count. They're the ones that put them on. Ask the networks what they say.
Yeah, I can't imagine what NBC thinks about having the Chargers instead of the Chiefs on last night.
Ask the network if the Chiefs would take those ratings a bit higher. Which, by the way, the semifinal game with Oregon and Indiana was usually they keep getting better and better every year, but it's less than what last year's was. But when 15 of the top 100 programs in America for the whole year were Kansas City Chiefs, not just NFL games in America, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
When 4 of the top 5 highest rated programs, Kansas City Chiefs. When the number 1 watched regular season football game all time, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
4 out of the top 5 were Chiefs. And you can say, well, it's because of prime time where they were playing. Come on, man. People wanted to see this. You know, when the Chiefs played the Cowboys, people were going to watch it. It was record numbers for it, but people either wanted to watch them win, which Chiefs Kingdom does. Around Kansas City, they do, or see them lose. And that's what people want to watch. But they enjoyed the Chiefs. People can hate all they want. They can talk about officiating, how the key Chiefs get all the calls and not realize they were 9th in the NFL in penalties. They can say all that stuff, and it doesn't materialize. They can materialize they had 12 more penalties than any team in the National Football League 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They can talk about that all they want, but the Chiefs do. Yes, the playoffs roll on. Yes, the playoffs are good and they move on. But not having the Kansas City Chiefs, don't tell me you don't need them when the people have spoken, and they've spoken with 4 of the top 5 games. They've spoken with ratings. So that's the truth. That's the proof. So calling cowards of the world can say whatever they want. That's fine. Just keep blabbing. That was a troll move.
Yeah.
It
So
was
first of all,
clickbait.
out of the 785, they say you place a rubber duck on the door handle for the Jeep owner to return.
Okay.
Thanks. That's you're teaching us. Where you learn something new every day.
I like Jeeps. I love Jeeps. I just never really had one.
Well, you need
I
to
had
throw
one a long
rubber ducks
time
on
ago.
'em.
I had one a long time ago. The CJ7. I mean, a long time ago.
Before this.
Before the rubber duck thing,
All right. Well, if I was a fan of a random NFL team that's not in the playoffs, if I was a Browns fan, I think this year it'd be refreshing to not sit and watch an AFC Championship game that includes the Chiefs. I don't think I'd be hating on them like a lot of the people are in the national media.
You might sit around and watch them want to lose.
Probably be
I'm
refreshing.
sitting here watching the playoffs, winning chaos and destruction. I want to see teams lose. I want to see fan bases cry.
Yeah,
I
I
want to see
can't wait to root
Philadelphia
against Denver
fans
this weekend. Can't wait.
The Philadelphia fans thought they were going to have a dynasty get all sad. I wanted to see that. Jacksonville fans that start peacocking around lost the game.
Yeah.
And, conversely, had Buffalo lost, that would have been fun too.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they still can. And, when Buffalo plays Denver, that means one annoying fan base is going to lose the game. That's a good thing.
That's right. Let's go Houston, baby. But the other thing is that the bad officiating, that didn't leave the bracket. I mean, I watched a Bills-Jaguars game yesterday where if the refs got within 3 yards of the correct spot, it was a win.
2 face mask penalties they missed, both of them on Buffalo. And they took advantage of that. But 2 glaring ones missed by the officiating that might have made a difference in that game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But bad officiating is everywhere. It's what you have.
Yeah, Josh Allen needs about 2 more rings before fans start whining about him getting calls. But you do, and the truth is the officiating is just bad. So we don't have the Chiefs in there, and you don't have to watch Patrick Mahomes play. So I guess if you have some vendetta against the players, fine. But the rest of the things you complain about, the script, the refs, whatever, that stuff hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah. Well, watch the game tonight. You will see bad calls. And not only that, but they'll bring on, as they usually do, the officiating expert. It's always wrong that comes on and says, I even played audio from this weekend.
This year's gotten 10 times worse about that,
It was
too.
a college game, and they called targeting on Ole Miss. This is clear. This is going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And then it didn't. It was the other way around. But this officiating expert was like, it's clearly targeting. This is an easy call. This is Joe at the bar with 4 beers will know exactly what's going on.
Yes.
And it was exactly 100% wrong that he was. I always think that's silly to have those ex-officials or whatever. Just let the broadcasters and Tony Romo stumble over what they're trying to talk about.
Well, I'm good on hearing Tony Romo stumble over his words. Good grief. But I don't know what happened between last year and this year, because at least before this year, that rules expert they bring on would say, well, it looks like PI, but maybe the officials seeing this. Now they get on there and they're like, yep, it's this.
There's
and
a lot of
every time
maybes
it's
and
the
however's.
opposite.
A lot
Every
of
time.
maybes. Maybe they call that. I get it. It's a tough spot to be in, but you did sign up for it. It's not like they made you do it. You're taking the money and you're doing it. But bad officiating is there. Remember when the refs went on strike and everybody's going crazy because they wanted the refs to come back? And then they did come back and they went back to bitching about it on Monday. But it's not just the Chiefs. There's some horrible calls all around. Detroit was crying a ton once they lost to the Chiefs, and they still cried into the next week. And then they played Tampa in primetime, and they were the beneficiaries of all the calls, and Tampa was the team crying about it. So it's weird how that thing works out, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes down to who makes the play late in the game. The old adage is, don't let the referees put you in if you're in a spot to where one bad call could swing the game, you didn't play good enough. But in this league, it's like, 92% of games are one score or something like that, especially in the playoffs.
So many we saw 2 games that had 4 different fourth quarter changes in leads. And
the Jaguars had 6 lead changes yesterday. It was like the NFL record for lead changes, wasn't it? Like it was just back and forth.
We saw a record. We saw that was a tie. They tied the record from earlier. And then we saw the Bears come back with 7 game-winning drives this year to match the Broncos with 7 game-winning drives. But we saw them 4 or 25 fourth-quarter points by them coming back from 18 points. And then we saw a missed field goal by Cam Little, which doesn't happen. That's the NFL record holder. And Buffalo took advantage of that.
There's 8 games left in the NFL season. I'm willing to bet you 7 of them come down to being a one-score football game. If not the final score, it's still a game that's close, that maybe a team seals it late. It's going to be close. You're going to have a bad call go against you. Can you make the big play? The Chiefs have done that up until this season for the last 7 years. I don't understand why that's so controversial. I never will.
Yeah, I don't either. We'll take a time out. I do want to come back. I want to talk about something I noticed during one of these games, and it was a Chiefs effect. Explain that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Jeff Montgomery here from Amoeba Medical. The new year is all about turning the page and feeling your best. Men, if better sleep and fewer bathroom trips are on your list, an enlarged prostate could be the reason. I decided not to carry that problem into another year and contacted Dr. Brown at Amoeba Medical. Their non-surgical treatment was fast, simple, and came with minimal recovery time. And it's covered by insurance. Start the year more comfortable and well-rested. Schedule a visit with Dr. Brown and the team at Amoeba Medical in Kansas City. Amoeba Medical, MIVA-medical.com.
The NFL wildcard round is here, and FanDuel's turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the wildcard round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. You can pick the matchup you believe in. Can Drake May and the Patriots get it done at home? Take your shot on an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This January, Fridays just got cooler, only at Harrah's Kansas City. Polar Patrol is making their rounds, and you can win $500 in free play. Just come out and play at any slot machine or table game for your chance to win $500 in free play. That's right, Fridays in January, the fun is on patrol and the prizes are ready to pop. So bundle up and head to Harrah's Kansas City, where the good times keep flurrying. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
To
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Nathan Williams, producing the operation. So, seeing C.J. Stroud walk around, right? 2020 quarterback recruiting class. And I brought this up this weekend. Number 1, Bryce Young. Number 3, C.J. Stroud. These are high school quarterback rankings before they played college. Number 13, Carson Beck, who's still playing college football. C.J. Stroud's in his third year in a playoff game. Bryce Young just played a playoff game. They're eligible for a contract extension, and you have one still playing college football. I'm just saying, man. It's a wild world, man.
It's insane.
And now people are trying to talk Ty Simpson out of going out of the draft and taking nil. He's got 2 $4 million offers. Actually, I think like 3. And he's got like a $6.5 million offer. So they have to figure out what they want to do. Do I want to stay in school or do I want to go to the pros? You know what I'm saying? They got to figure out what they want to do. So it's always a tough deal. But Josh Allen, did you see his face after he scored a touchdown? Clearly he was happy. It was a hell of a tush push that he had, and they scored from the 1. But which is funny because McDermott was anti-tush push, right? He was one of the leaders in the clubhouse saying they need to ban it, but yet they took advantage of it. And it helped them beat the Jaguars, right? Which is funny. Might as well use what you can, but he was one of the advocates against it. And you see Josh Allen's face. The only thing I was thinking about, Nathan, and you probably might disagree on this, but it's kind of like, oh, man, I've been here before. We've got a minute 4 left in this game. I'm giving the other quarterback the ball. And to tie the game, because he missed a field goal earlier, was Cam Little, who's got the NFL record with the 68-yard field goal. You don't need a ton of yardage to put him in field goal range to tie the game up. Looking at his face, I mean, he was wanting to celebrate, and he kind of did, but kind of didn't because he kind of learned his lesson that 13-second game because he was all about celebrating with his teammates after that, even though the Chiefs came back and, of course, tied the game and won the game, the Grim Reaper game. And but he had that look on him like, yeah, Trevor Lawrence, what's he do? He pees his pants and he throws an interception. We saw that. But I was thinking in the back of my mind, like Josh Allen, that team was probably so happy that it was Trevor Lawrence on the other sideline and not Patrick Mahomes. Because we've seen this and done this.
I think Josh Allen, of course, was happy that Mahomes wasn't on the other side. And I also agree that he probably was thinking, here we go again. This thing is not over when they scored with, like 56 seconds left. I don't really remember. I think it was the right call to score that touchdown right away. If I'm McDermott, I think you and I disagree on that a little bit from our conversation in the bullpen. But I definitely saw well,
it worked out your way.
The 13-second game flash before Josh Allen's eyes. But it wasn't even, I don't care if they scored with 50 seconds or 30 seconds. The Jaguars needed to get to their own, 48-yard line before they would have tried a field goal.
And you did miss one earlier.
He did, but they would have tried to tie that thing up if they got 24 yards of offense.
That's the only thing I was thinking about. I was like, man, how glad is he not to have to worry about the Grim Reaper on the other sidelines or another quarterback like Burrow or somebody like that to take the ball down and score. Because
anyone on the NFC side of the bracket.
You leave a minute 4 with a lot of these quarterbacks that are left in these playoff games, they're going to come down and score in your ass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Lawrence didn't. He throws a pick.
I think any of the 4 teams left on the NFC side get into field goal range there if Cam Little is their kicker. So, look, these are the kind of breaks that we're referencing when we say, if Josh Allen isn't going to win it now, when is he going to win it? you're now getting the bounces in the playoffs in addition to not having Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar in the playoffs
And you
as
get your
well.
first road win since '92.
Absolutely.
Now they've got to go be road warriors.
So
they've got to win in Denver. Got to win that game, then they have to go to. Well, if New England wins, they'll have to go to New England.
They're going to have to go through a couple of good defenses, and I'm not trying to oversimplify things. You got the breaks yesterday. Now go beat Bo Nix and go beat Drake May. Like, it's really that simple. For a guy that we say is as good as Josh Allen, I think he's the second best quarterback in the league. I think in terms of talent, he could be top 10 all time in the NFL. We say he's so good. I fully expect, or at least hold him to the standard of going into Denver this weekend and winning that game. Without question.
I'm looking forward to that game. Is Denver for real? I mean, that pass rush is for real. Is Bo Nix, and all season long, he's been the comeback king.
That defense is
and the
absolutely
Buffalo Bills
for
have
real.
been coming back too, but not like Denver's done.
Mm-hmm. That defense is for real. That quarterback is not. I don't trust Bo Nix as far as he can throw. Pun intended, man. Sean Payton, great offensive mind. They are, by the way, the Broncos are way early on this. They're not even fully out of the Russell Wilson deal yet, and this is back-to-back years in the playoffs with Nix and Sean Payton.
That's impressive.
He's been very impressive in his time back in Denver.
Especially with that defense, and it's an offensive-minded coach.
There is no reason that I see the Broncos getting into the 20s in terms of point. I don't care how how good their defense is. Josh Allen, go win this football game.
Yeah. And Buffalo is the 6th seed, so obviously tonight's game is involving the 4 and 5. The Steelers are the 4, the Texans are the 5, so they won't play at Highmark Stadium anymore. That stadium is done as they're moving into a new place next year. So you're not going to see the Buffalo Snowstorm games this year for the rest of the way. But that's all I was thinking about. I was like, man, can you imagine having a viable quarterback on the other sideline at the minute 4 and a kicker with the NFL record 68-yard kick, what he could do? At that game, and then I'm watching the Chargers-Patriots later on that night, and I know Amarian Hampton was dressed out but didn't play in that game, and I thought, as I've said all along, even in draft night, drafting a running back in the first round, that certainly helped the Chargers, didn't it? That helped the Chargers in that porous offensive line. I know Rashawn Slater's hurt, and I know Joe Alt's hurt, and I know Pipkins has been banged up this year but was playing, but New England didn't care. They were coming right after him. And to be honest with you, that was a team that does need receiver help as well. They did bring back Keenan Allen. That's how starved they are. And McConkey took a step back. But the Chargers decided on getting a running back in the first round. The other team in the division that decided on a running back in the first round was Austin Jenney with the Raiders. Yeah. And they didn't make the playoffs. And now we see the first-round pick from the Chargers not help them a damn bit in that game.
So you're not pro Jeremiah Love at 9 is what I'm hearing. Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. Both of those quarterbacks last night were not good when pressured. I mean, not good at all.
And they were bringing it, man.
They were. Both teams were, especially the Patriots, man. I mean, the second that a couple drives in, when they realized that Herbert was like 0 for 4 with a couple of sacks when they sent more than 4 guys, seemed like, I mean, it was just engage 8. Like that old Madden play where you send 8 and you drop 3. That's what it felt like on every single play, and Herbert had no match for it.
Well, New England saw weakness with the Chargers and like, this line's not holding up. We can get right through this
you
line.
and I could have schemed that up for the Patriots. I'm not really giving
the running
them
game's
kudos.
non-existent. We'll just peel our ears back and go after the quarterback.
Absolutely.
And that's they're doing. Herbert didn't stand a chance.
Yeah,
he makes that late surge there towards the end, but it didn't work out because New England's pass rush was too much for him.
Seeing how much Will Campbell struggled in that game, and Drake May kind of buckled under. Now it was his first playoff game, so I will give him credit for that. Man, I think either of the teams, Buffalo or Denver, could beat New England. Man, I think this Houston team is
it's a short arms thing, man. I'm always talking.
Maybe. Well, yeah. I mean, he profiled as a guard, according to a lot of people. Will Campbell did. And, if Simmons is healthy, Will Campbell's probably not a Patriot either. Simmons is probably their left tackle.
He probably
at this
might
point.
have been. There's an argument he could have been probably the first tackle
taken.
Yeah,
I think he should have been just based on talent alone. I think if he doesn't get hurt last year, he is. I think this Houston team it matches up really well with the New England Patriots, and I'm rooting for the Steelers tonight if I'm a New England fan.
Yeah, Houston, they can be dangerous. That's the thing early in the year when they were 0-3. Everybody's like, well, is D'Amico Ryans keep his job? I'm like, what are you talking about? This guy has won a playoff game the previous 2 years. The defense didn't just get good at the end of the year. It was good wire to wire. I mean, this defense has been legit. That's been the one thing they have. That's their head coach, a former NFL player on defense. That's what they do. And the whole argument is you get an offensive-minded head coach, get defensive-minded. We've seen defensive-minded guys do just fine, like D'Amico Ryans, McDonald in Seattle, Vrabel in New England. So you don't really need that mixture. It's the perfect mixture if you want it. Like you're thinking Sean Payton with Bo Nix, it's going to be a great mix. Yeah. But it's that defense carrying Denver.
When you look at these retread coaches like McDaniel or Stefanski, they're offensive guys. Kingsbury, Nagy, a lot of the new upcoming guys are defensive. I know there's Hafley and Mentor, and then is it Shula in LA that are getting? But a lot of the new young
the Ram staff's
scheme-based guys are defensive.
The Ram staff's about to get rated. At this point,
I think they could lose both coordinators and their quarterback coach without question. I also think this Houston team is built well to stop James Cook. And you know what happens to the Bills when you stop James Cook? This Texans team could sneak their way and be one of those teams that we're saying, how the hell did they get to the Super Bowl with this offense? But I really think they have a shot. I really do.
And here's your running back argument. Only 4. If you took the top 10 rushers in the NFL, only 4 of them were first-round picks. That means 6 weren't. As far as guys in the playoffs, only 4 of the top 10 rushers in the National Football League are in the playoffs. 6 aren't.
Which is why I don't
Not
understand.
saying you don't get a good running back, because you do, but I don't know if you waste the top 10 pick on a running back. Well, I'm not saying you don't.
Well, look at the teams that are still in the playoffs when they acquired these big running backs. The Eagles, the Niners. I know the Eagles just lost, but take them for example. They had an infrastructure. That offensive line 2 seasons ago, everyone knew how good that run game was.
And then Lane Johnson's out, and that throws a wrench in the whole
deal.
deal.
The 49ers a couple years ago, that offensive line, one of the best in football. You absolutely can benefit from a good running back, but the scheme, the system, and the offensive line all come well before that. Now, there's another extreme, and that is this Chiefs team where you just completely neglected the running back position since you drafted Clyde 5 years ago. Big swing and a miss there. And so you do need to invest in talent there. But it's why teams like the Raiders, who don't have the infrastructure, the Falcons, who didn't have the infrastructure, the Giants, when they took Barkley, taking a running back so high in the draft when you don't have these other things is just a waste of a first-round pick. It's a good way to lose your job as a GM, too.
100% right. We'll address the Chiefs and draft needs coming up. There are some interesting texts that have come through the Jay Southland Tow Service text line. 913-586-7965 is the text line. It's also the phone number, 913-586-7965. We'll keep you up to date on this game tonight and the NFL playoffs that were absolutely fantastic this weekend. And we'll start looking at the Chiefs coaching staff and kind of some of the moves. We continue to talk about offensive coordinators as well, but I want to address these draft texts next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000. or go to rexbuyskc.com. That's rexbuyskc.com. And I look forward to working with you.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boo! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hola, amigos! It's a big noise. Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back to After Jay Binkley, Nathan Williams producing the operation. Nathan, you'll hear him at bright and early in the morning as well. You going to stay here tonight or you just go home?
If you're crashing here tonight, get a couple drinks and we can do this thing right, Bink. Watch some football. No. I'll head home, be back early in the morning, and run things back with Bob and Dusty.
I have stayed here and watched football before.
I've done all-nighters here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just stay here and watch ball. And we got plenty of drinks and snacks and everything else. Get everything you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, cooler's loaded up back there. We could make a night of it. No. I'll head home, get some sleep. But it's always fun with those guys. Those guys are so welcoming to me and always have been. And so it's always, I hope Max feeling better, right?
Oh,
but it is always good to come in and talk ball with those guys for a few hours.
Always so fun with those dudes. I usually join on Wednesday mornings.
Yeah.
About 6:45, and we always have a lot of fun. And
somehow Dusty's like riled up at that time of the day. You know what I mean?
Have you ever tried Dusty's chili? I'm not kidding you. It's really good. Like Dusty's very good with chili.
I'm not surprised at all. If you're good with meat, and we'll let that one sit for a second. If you're good with meat like Dusty is, I'm sure he knows his way around chili too.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. We'll talk a lot of stuff tonight, including something about the Buffalo Bills. They're selling their urinals. Their troughs.
Oh,
their troughs. Yeah, they're selling them. I'd actually like to have one.
George Brett would agree with you.
I don't know if I'll get one, but they used to have them out at the K. They're going to be tearing that thing down. So, but they don't have them anymore. So
yeah, George has urinals in the house.
Does he?
You've heard that story?
Huh?
Oh. Yeah, he's got
but
urinals.
The K
in his
and the
house.
Arrowhead would get rid of their urinals, right? George that's when you've made it, when you have those.
I just think about cleaning that. Do you have one of those
put the urinal
pads
mint.
that you
put
set
the urinal
in?
mint in there.
Oh, and then you're cleaning that? But also, it's just as gross if you're not cleaning. Pass.
Pass. If you're not cleaning it.
It is. Oh, you know what a bathroom smells like at the end of a Chiefs game?
Yeah, but there's something about a trough. There's something about a urinal. there's something about fun.
The trough's supposed to be communal. It loses its luster when you're at home in your own bathroom.
Then you get the whole urinal to yourself. Ice that baby down, and we'll talk about that.
It serves as a bathtub, too, if you got a trough in there, I guess. Just all in one.
That's true. Talk about that later. You hear from the text line, 816, all in on Caleb Downs.
Amen, brother.
Hey, Caleb Downs is a great player. There's no question about Caleb Downs. But do the Chiefs need a safety in round one? I would say no on that. And I like Caleb Downs a lot. Caleb Downs is a stud. Here's another one. They'll take Bain, Bailey, Woods, Carnell, Tyson, or Fano. Yeah. There's a lot of defensive players mixed in there, obviously, with Tyson and Carnell Tate. The thing with Bailey and Bain, I know a lot of you have just started watching Bain as of late. Bain did not have a good game the last playoff game. Bain was very hard to find in that game. Now, he's had great games. That A&M game, he was great. 3 sacks in that game. Throughout the regular season, it was tough to find. I mean, some games, dominant. He only had 4.5 sacks during the regular season, and that was an ACC schedule. Yeah, he's going to be a top 10 pick probably at this point, but I know people have talked about the short arms and things like that. That's going to be talked about a lot. I will say this. He hasn't officially measured at the combine, so we'll see what happens when the official measurements. Guys have a way to gain, well, especially at pro days. Like if you skip it at the combine, you do it your pro day, it's magical. Sometimes hand size for quarterbacks and everything, it magically
guys
changes.
Overestimate their length?
Kind
Is that
of,
what you're saying?
you kind of overestimate things when you have pro days.
Oh, okay.
But it's
All
not
right.
measured by the NFL.
Yeah. But look, I think as fans, we consider pass rush, pass catcher, and running back the three needs, however you want to rank them, the three things that you expect a significant investment in, whether it's a high draft pick or a quality free agent. Man, I have to imagine Spagnuolo imagines the safety position on the same tier, even though fans don't. I think you noticed a considerable drop-off in the communication and the preparedness when it comes to coverage in the secondary this year. And I bet, this isn't reporting, this is speculation, I would imagine that Spagnuolo attributes that to not having a Tyrann Mathieu, a Justin Reed, a leader in the secondary at the safety position. I think he likes having that in his defense. And so I think whether it's a free agent or maybe a higher draft pick than people expect, an investment at that position is coming. Now,
I wish they were in a position where Caleb Downs
that's
would
what I was
be
going
the
to
answer,
say. Is I wish we could spend the
He's a
ninth pick
special
on a
player,
safety.
man. He's a special player. There's no doubt about that.
He's going to be great. And so, like, if they address the D-line and free agency, I can't imagine a spot where in free agency
But he should be gone by then.
He should be. You're right. I also think you can't approach free agency based on what you think will happen in the draft. Take Jalen Moore, the Jalen Moore signing last offseason. If they knew Josh Simmons was there at 31, they're not signing Jalen Moore. I wish it's just a little bit of a luxury. I wish they could pick a safety at 9. I can't imagine myself feeling good enough about the D-line room going into the draft. I could be sold on if the D-line was better. Hey, we're going to trade McDuffie, spend the later first on a wide receiver, or pick 40 on a wide receiver, and we just can't pass up on Downs here at 9. I could be sold on that. As currently constructed, I can't imagine a world where I'm cool with safety at 9. I just can't.
And here's the one thing about it. The Chiefs have had really good luck with defensive backs. And whether they get him in the 5th, the 6th, even Jalen Watson was the 7th. Jerry Sneed was the 4th.
Yeah.
Noel Williams was the 3rd. And some of these new drafts that are redrafting from last year, and Bleacher Report just had one, they put Noel 20th, which is 2 rounds higher than what he was selected. Yeah. And Noel Williams is a special player, and that was a great pick that the Chiefs made. But they have had a lot of success getting defensive backs, not in the first round. In the mid-rounds. Yeah, Trent McDuffie was a first-round pick because he kind of felt Chiefs had a first-round grade on him. He started to fall like, we got to get up and get this guy. So they went up and did it. That was a luxury. But they've been extremely good at mid-round to late. That's one position they've actually been really, really good at drafting is defensive backs. Because they involve everybody. They involve Spags, who's an old defensive backs coach, of course, Dave Merritt. And they give a list. Like, don't watch everybody. Here's 10 to 15 names. Watch these guys and tell me what you think. Who fits into your system? But they've had a lot of luck at defensive backs. Bain and the short arms, you're going to hear a lot about that. Now, it depends. Players can make it up. I mean, there are players with shorter arms, and it doesn't matter because that motor keeps going, and it doesn't matter. But let me put it in perspective. Myles Garrett's hands, about 5.5, his arm length's about 5.5 inches different than Ruben Bain. That's almost half a foot.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's Myles Garrett. He's the NFL sack single-season leader. But we're talking about top 10 pick here. And Andy Reid, for example, typically he hasn't drafted anybody less than 34-inch arms for tackles. Now, he did with Simmons because he's 33 inches. But Gelati, it was 31 and some change that they drafted. That was atypical because typically it's longer arms. And Karloff was kind of in that lower end of the range where they get. But Gelati, that was a stretch for what they typically do. So Gelati, as of now, does have a lot longer arms than a Ruben Bain. But, again, nothing's official with Bain until he's actually officially tested.
Your argument about the quarterback room late in the draft is why I'm okay with the scenario of them moving on from McDuffie and backfilling the cornerback room. As good of a player as McDuffie is, I'm okay with Watson, Williams, probably a veteran free agent, and a mid-round draft pick in that cornerback room. Totally fine.
So bring back Watson.
Yeah, I think that could be an above-average cornerback room by year's end next year. The safety room is much more depleted than that. Based on the confidence they showed in Hicks this year, based on what we've seen from Connor when he's out of his primary position, and then just based on what I think I know about Steve Spagnuolo and the way he's ran his defense the first number of years in Kansas City, I think the team views the safety need as bigger than the fans view it.
It's huge because you're trying to stop elite quarterbacks, and there's good quarterbacks minus the Raiders in this division, but that's not going to always be the case.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza, and probably whether it's an offensive-minded head coach or the rumor has been that Brady wants Brian Flores to man the ship there and then bring in another OC like Dable or Shieldhouse or someone that's a significant offensive coordinator. You would think with Genty, Bowers, and then Mendoza, something is building in Vegas in terms of the offense not being so bad. I'm not saying they're going to go to the playoffs or anything, but the era of haplessness, the Geno Smith years, that might be behind them. I think I am team pass rush at 9 right this second because I think it's the easiest spot. All their draft picks, free agency trade, it's the easiest spot to get a guy that can just win one-on-one matchups.
And I'll say this, though. Pass rushers and edge rushers, it has trended more towards the end of the first round, into the second. It used to be you better get them in the pick 1 through 18.
Yeah.
And when you look at top 20 sackers in the NFL, it typically will pick 1 through 18. So it can't happen. But you're starting to see a lot of outliers. Like T.J. Watt was, I think, pick 30th. You see Karlaftis towards the end of the first round. Max Crosby, what a 4th-round pick. So you're seeing more and more of these guys not right there up at the top. And listen, as far as getting elite running back, Jeremiah Love is certainly talented. There's no question about it. But, yes, the Chiefs do need a running back. Not a 7th-round running back either. 2nd or 3rd-round running back is, I think, would be fine for him. Again, the top 10 rushers in the NFL are loaded with 2nd and 3rd-round picks. Love, yeah, if you're really on the Jeremiah Love, I will say this. Go back and look at the games where he did well in. Purdue dominated him. Mm-hmm. He played Miami. They kept him out of the playoffs. He had 33 yards. 3.3 yards a carry. He had less than 100 against A&M. His 2 best teams he played, he didn't have over 100 yards.
It's true.
So, I mean, there's things you have to look at. Like which game you looking at. And level of competition, who you playing.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing if you roll up against Eastern Michigan. It's a different thing if you're playing Ohio State or Michigan. I mean, it's always, or if you're playing Bowling Green, it's a big difference than playing Miami.
Yeah, you're right. I couldn't be more anti-running back
Indiana.
in the first round. I am on the team of Dowdle or Kenneth Walker or someone in the
Algiers, my guy.
More towards the upper echelon of running backs. I don't need to spend $15 million on one, but $8 to $10 million a year on a free agent running back, and then a 3rd-round pick. That's what I'd prefer in that room.
Because the chances are running backs get hurt, and they usually do at some point. And then you put too much money in it. Then what do?
I don't care if it's at 9, if it's at 40. I don't care if you trade McDuffie for the 31st pick and you get it there. You got to get an edge that can win one-on-one. You just do. It's the number one need in this offseason for me.
Yeah, and you can make the argument when people say, well, they've got to get a pass rush or they've got to get a running back. Problem is they've proven they can win a Super Bowl with both because they've been to the Super Bowl with a bad pass rush. They've been to the Super Bowl with bad receivers, although I will say this. Out of this 3-year stretch they had, they were number 2 in the NFL in sacks when they won. They went back to 18th, and they lost. So you can't make that argument. My whole thing is you got to find somebody for Patrick to throw the ball to.
I know. It's another big need.
Because if Kelsey does retire, which, listen, it's a pretty good chance he does. Can't guarantee he's coming back. But if he's gone, keep in mind, it's either been Kelsey or Tyreek Hill that has led this team in the last decade in receiving yards. You miss those yards, where are you going to get them?
Yeah.
And then if Rice isn't with you for all 17 games, where are you getting that production? Whether it's an injury or something else, you don't know. And, again, are you going to trust that Worthy's that guy? You going to trust Tyquan Thornton? You going to bring him back? Is that going to be your guy?
I want him back, but that's not the guy.
Like, here's the deal. Who are you going to throw? And we saw a ton of 4th, 5th, 6th round, even 7th round receivers do damage in the playoffs this year. You know why? These teams take multiple darts and throw them at multiple receivers. Just like when the Rams tried to rebuild the receiver room and Stafford gets there and he didn't know the name of anybody. Puka Nacua is one of those guys. Puka was the 4th, 5th-round selection of the Rams. But you know what they kept doing? Throwing darts. They just didn't do one dart and say you're the dude.
It's not even about the darts, which is, to some extent, it's getting away from this prototype of receiver that this team continues to draft. That's the biggest thing for me is detaching yourself from the profile having to be the Xavier Worthies, the Hollywood Browns, the Sky Moores, guys that look and play like them. I want the guy that I want a contested catch, a crisp route running type of receiver. I don't care if he's tall and big, but give me a Nakua or a Smith and Jibba that can go over the middle and beat somebody.
And he's
man to
6'2",
man.
and Carnell Tate's the guy that we liked in our mock, and he's 6'3", and didn't have a great game in the playoffs. I get that, but he had a great season, and he's the best route runner in the draft. He's the best hands in the draft. He catches everything, and he's got a great catch radius, and he's extremely physical. That's the direction I'd go. Because, again, yes, they need Bailey, they need Bain, they need these guys. I get it. Text line's asking me what if Bain and Bailey are off the board at 9. Well, you get a receiver at that point, and you still get a receiver at that point, because don't forget, who's Patrick Mahomes going to throw the football to? Nobody has that answer. We'll discuss offensive coordinator next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
The playoffs are here. More specifically, the NFL wildcard round is here, and FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack during every NFL playoff game day, each game day during the wildcard round. You'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you on the app. So whether you're like me and you think the Patriots are going to go all the way, or you think Jacksonville's going to win in this first round of the playoffs, you can take your shot on an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. Then apply your profit boost and go for even bigger payouts while you get the playoffs rolling. Visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack for every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Maybe you haven't heard about us. We're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless has you paying for more data than you might need. Why? They might want you to cover the costs of younger people who do use all that data. If you're not using the data, you're probably being used. We've heard time and time again that some Big Wireless customers get stuck paying hundreds and even thousands more for years and years because they think it's hard to switch. Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes and you can change your plan anytime without extra charges. We use the same towers as the big guys, so you'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the Big Wireless bill.
Our plans start at just $20 a month, and for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Fesco and Dusty, weekdays 6 to 10 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Nathan Williams producing the operation. We are about 10 minutes away for Houston Texans and Pittsburgh Steelers. Any dog in the fight in this one? Do you have any dog? So let's go Dr. Pepper here. That Dr. Pepper commercials with Fansville. You have a side team? Do you have a side team, Nathan?
No way. No way. I'm a general fan of the sport of football, sure. I like watching greatness. I like watching cool stuff. I like good, close games above everything, but I have no dog in the fight. Look, I really didn't want Philly to win. I really don't want Denver to win. Outside of that, if it's Josh Allen, great. If it's the Bears, cool. The Seahawks, fun.
Well, Josh Allen, though, you'll be able to stomach that because it's going to be a national love fest, man.
I would.
That is going to be a lot. You know what, though? He will fight. He will fight the, Mahomes wasn't in Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Like, he will fight that. But I'll say that. He wins a ring. You've earned it because this team's got to go on the road throughout. I get that. He will have earned it.
It'll be a love fest, but we've been whining about that happening for years without anything to substantiate it. So I would love the asterisk he has to fight. I would love the fact that we could say every year Mahomes is in the playoffs with Josh Allen. He didn't win the Super Bowl. I also just think Josh Allen is going to win a Super Bowl at some point in his career. That's too simple. It's not how the league works, but I think he will.
We've asked the question,
if he
if
did
it's not
when
Mahomes,
Patrick's
who's the
not
next
here.
one? Who's the next one? We've asked that question.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's a conclusion. You know, we used to hand out at the start 5 years ago. We used to say, hey, Herbert, how many does he win? How many does Lamar win? How many does Burrow win? It was just so premature. That's not how football works. But I do think Allen is going to win one at some point, and I'd like that to be the year Mahomes is not in the bracket.
Can you imagine just think if Jacksonville would have won that game yesterday. They certainly had their opportunities
to
do so. But here's the thing. Now he's got to go to Denver, right? And then going to have to play the winner of this game or New England Patriots in the next. And that's tough, man. And
I will not be rooting for them in the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. Not that I'll be rooting against them. I'm definitely pulling for them over Denver this week. It's a fan base and a team that I can't stand. Cannot stand. I'd rather if I had my pick in the AFC, it'd be the Texans. If I had a pick of any team I wanted to watch in the Super Bowl, it'd be the Houston Texans. The other thing about the Bills,
because the Kansas City, they drafted 3 guys from Kansas City high schools this year. The Houston Texans did.
Absolutely. The Bills go to the Super Bowl or win one. They extend Sean McDermott for at least 2 more seasons, 3 more seasons. I maintain that he is a bottom 5 coach in the NFL. I think he is terrible. I think he and Zach Taylor both get passes based on their quarterbacks. And if they can win one in spite of McDermott or come closer than ever in spite of McDermott and they lock him up for more of Josh Allen's career, I'm happy.
Yeah. But any of these teams win, and keep in mind, when I speak of that, Jalen Noel, Kansas City, Park Hill, Ursery from Kansas City, Graham Mertz from Kansas City, he doesn't play, but you'll see some Jalen Noel today playing. So 3 Kansas City kids for Houston. I'm okay with that. Stroud's a good dude. I mean, I like D'Amico Ryans as the head coach. I don't want to see Buffalo or Denver. Like those, or Drake May get his first. I just don't want to see it. Now, I'd rather see the NFC win. I know that's weird, but
1,000%.
You know, I love what Shanahan's done with that. Dealing with all the injuries he's dealt with, he doesn't complain. He didn't complain about all the cross-country road trips, doesn't complain about that. Everybody else does. He doesn't. I give him credit. That's the coach of the year, in my opinion. He keeps doing it. Yes, the Chiefs have got 2 rings over him, but then there's the Rams there to have one. Stafford's already got one. McVay's already got one. So I don't want to see them get 2. Now, the Seahawks are the team I said, let's see. And again, a true side team is when you invest in. You buy a hat or shirt or something like that. I'd never do that. Never do that. And I asked people that question the other day because a lot of people said they had a side team. And I said, well, how much of a side team is it? One that you're like sitting on your couch going, I'm kind of rooting for this team. Or do you wear and represent their colors? Because I don't think many people do. The NFL is tough to have a side team in. Major League Baseball used to be easier because you pick somebody from the National League. Now when you play every single team, you can't really do it as well. So people with their, quote, side teams. Seattle, because I don't see Darnold winning another one. I don't see people looking at him and saying, that's an elite quarterback, Sam Darnold right there. So the Seahawks, to me, are the less of the evil. So somebody's got to win. I get that. So if somebody has the win, let it be Seattle.
If I had my pick of the matchup, I think it would be Seahawks-Texans. I think that's my preferred matchup in the Super Bowl based on it being entertaining and being happy with the outcome. I wouldn't go as far to say as I like the 49ers, but I admire what Kyle Shanahan has done. And that is a team that has been at the top of this league, except for, a year or two when they were down for injury, for the better part of a decade now. And if the Chiefs were not in their way, I believe they would have 2 rings in that span. Now, also, Kyle Shanahan just didn't know the overtime rules, so I'm not just giving them a total pass. But I believe that team was good enough to win the Super Bowl both of those years. And just like Josh Allen.
You see the Sky Moore and you see DeMarcus Robinson.
They got Mahomes, man.
You see these familiar names. It sucks what happens to Kittle. That's a good dude, but sucks when he gets hurt a lot, and that sucks.
So I think I'd be
and then
really
Trent Williams
okay.
been banged up, but he's been playing. So
that's true.
But they've dealt with some serious injuries.
They have.
At least they have McCaffrey still going, who, by the way, could have been a second timer into the 1,000 club, and he was close because he had 924 receiving, which is insane.
I'm yelling into the void, and I know that. I know we're 20 years past this conversation. He's by far and away the MVP of the league this year. It's not even remotely close. Christian McCaffrey is the MVP of the league this year. That offense is so depleted. And they even lost George Kittle yesterday. I mean, you get rid of Debo, you get rid of some of those guys in the O-line without Purdy most of the year. Ayuk won't come into the stadium except posting it on his Instagram story. You lose Ricky Pearsall. Christian McCaffrey, to have a chance for the 1 seed, I think Shanahan's the coach of the year, and I think CMC was the MVP. I know it's a quarterback award, so I'm not seriously saying he's going to win it. He should have been in the conversation.
Well, and the thing about it is, when you think about league MVP and where you're going, with that award, who means the most to their team, which is truly what it should be.
Look at them last year without him.
Well, you think about Mahomes in the past, look who he's throwing to. Look who he's throwing to. It was him carrying this team. Again, Patrick Mahomes has 4 games in the regular season he's ever lost by more than a touchdown or 2-point conversion. Look what happens when he's out.
Yeah.
They get rolled. And for guys to have 1,000 receiving and rushing, it's a special list. Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey could have been on this list twice and was close to it. But it's one thing to perform, and it's another thing to do it when you're the weapon. When people know to stop you. Because they're not losing sleep over DeMarcus Robinson. They're not losing sleep over Juwan Jennings. They're not losing sleep on these they're not losing sleep on anybody, but they lose sleep on Christian McCaffrey. But yet he's still doing it.
I'm pulling up DraftKings now. Who's the favorite for Offensive Player of the Year? Because I'm sure it's Smith and Jigba or Puka Nacua. But Christian McCaffrey is by far and away the most indispensable guy on his team this year. And you're right, it's with nobody else, which as a skill guy makes it that much more impressive because guys are keyed in on him. And he did it with Mac Jones facilitating the football for half of the season.
Like, who would you take? Like, it's tough to look at this team and say Trent Williams, or who would you take on this team? And you think about, man, can you imagine Puka in this offense? I mean, can you imagine that?
That guy's so special. He is so special.
It's, game MVPs or DraftKings and stuff. Do you have any futures bets?
I don't. I'm trying to find I think the awards are locked right now. I'm interested to see what McCaffrey's odds are because I bet he's 3rd in the ranking, and I bet he's pretty far back there. Now Puka and Jackson Smith and Jigba have been absolutely incredible this year. But I think CMC and I think the running back position, and I'm anti-running back. I talked about it earlier. I think it's scheme. I think it's system. I think it's O-line. This guy in particular, McCaffrey, is elevating that team just to a crazy extent. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk was their 2nd leading receiver yesterday. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey deserves more flowers than he's getting. That's all.
Yeah. What's one guy you can't take off a team and they be viable? I will say this.
Oh, it's him.
As far as non-quarterbacks, that's who it would be. It's obviously become a quarterback honor, award. It shouldn't always be that way because that's not the case. You could make an argument it should have been Barkley last year for what he did. You can make arguments in the past that Derrick Henry should have won the award in the past. But as far as non-quarterbacks, it's 100% Christian McCaffrey in my point. But, man, Puka makes some ridiculous catches.
Oh, he's unstoppable.
And contested catches. I mean, I just can't imagine. But, see, that's what happens when you throw multiple darts at receivers. And I know people don't want to do it, but when you throw one dart at Sky Moore and it doesn't work out, you're hosed. This year, they threw one dart at a receiver. And this was a team that knew that Rashee Rice was going to get suspended at some point. Now, I don't think they knew 6 days or 6 games at that point, but they knew it was going to be close. So you knew you were going to be without that. Then you're one injury away from a player going down. And then they threw a dart in the 4th round at Jalen Royals. Didn't get to see him until the very end of the season. Like, that's a guy had his opportunities. Xavier Worthy missed 3 games with that injury when he played 3 in Brazil. And Rashee Rice was out 6 games. That was your opportunity. But if you draft one, they better work out. But if you go multiple and one didn't work out, you can stomach it a lot better because one worked out for you.
Well, and I mean, they better work out can be applied to any of these position groups because sneakily, and I'm not calling for Brett Beach's job or anything. You're going to come back down to earth a little bit. He had a fantastic run of drafts there in 21 and 22. There's been a lot of misses at key positions these last couple of years. I mean, just going down the names of pass rushers that this team has drafted in the last 5 years it's scary. I can pull it up. We can do it in the next segment. It's bad. It's like B.J. Thompson, Felix Anudike-Uzomah. They have burned a lot of draft picks. And so it comes to the pass catcher they draft this year. I think it's equally as imperative to the edge rusher they draft this year. It's time to not have a bad draft. You've had two underwhelming drafts. It's time to not have a bad one.
We can discuss that because there are other things involved in what a GM does, and I'm curious about your opinions on those. We'll do that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
NFL playoffs, let's go. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and it makes every moment feel bigger. In the postseason, the game shifts fast, and with DraftKings live betting options, you can stay right in the moment. Plus, DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. With DraftKings, you're covered through the entire half. Why bet player props anywhere else? New customers, here's your shot. Bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 965. That's code 965 to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Additional terms at dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA they gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Hey, it's Josh Vern. You're in before I head out to Arizona to see the boys in blue in spring training. I'll be hosting the Royals Rally Show live from Kauffman Stadium on Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9 a.m. The biggest names in the organization will join me for exclusive one-on-one interviews as they get ready for the 2026 season. If you miss any of the show, it'll all be available afterwards on the All Things Vern podcast channel. The Royals Rally Show, Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9, right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Nathan Williams, 0-0 on Steelers and Texans. Did you see the new NBC Sports score bug last night? They call it score bug, but they put there at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
you can see the timeouts and the score. Mm-hmm. Did you notice much difference? I mean, I guess I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it when you bounce between NBC, CBS, Fox, Amazon, all of them. I don't, I guess, pay much attention to the score bugs. I guess it looked clean. People were going crazy about liking the score bug. I'm like, are we sitting here and thinking that looking at who's winning the game and how many timeouts you have, that's like a cool thing now?
I don't know. It seems like each team or each network, makes a big change every handful of years. Like Fox made a really big change last year, and I know they debuted it during the Super Bowl. I noticed that one. I didn't really notice the NBC one yesterday. And I mean, call me old school. I like the little score bug in the top left area of the screen where the timeouts are dots, and it's you get the other games across the bottom of your screen too. The old CBS one in the top left corner of the screen. That's all I need. I don't
Remember
need
they didn't show it? Or were you live at that?
I wasn't alive then. Thank you.
Well, they didn't score it. You have to sit around and wait for it to say. And I know people had problems with announcers yesterday, and people were complaining about that. And Tony Romo, which was bad.
Oh, Romo was so bad.
We'll get to it. Peacock's going to be adding a feature where you can turn the announcers off. So if you don't hear the announcers, or better yet, if it's your team, just listen to the radio. Listen to the radio broadcast. Carry all the games there. You can listen to Mitch do every game. Mitch and Dana and Clayton can do every game for you. They get to find a way to sync things up, but you can definitely do that. So with Veach in the draft, I think we can agree this is a huge amount of pressure being number 9. Because when you're drafting constantly, that's the one thing about the Chiefs. So it's not only hurt them in the coaching search, but it's hurt them in the draft as well, right? When you're drafting at the end of the first round, you have to understand that it's tougher for the GMs to do because it's not just the first round you're drafting at the end of the round. You're drafting at the end of rounds with the teams ahead of you. You're drafting behind them. And then you're waiting on coaches because, on Zooms and things like that when you continue to go through the playoffs, so you miss out on things. Not that it matters. The Chiefs haven't made many coaching changes, but that does hurt. But drafting at the end of the first round usually hurts too. Now, last year they feel they got to dive in the rough with Josh Simmons and the injury and sliding back there because they typically wouldn't have been able to get a player like that earlier on in the draft. Now, I'll say this, Nathan. Most times you'll hear most GMs, the most important thing they say, like when they have pre-draft press conferences, there's one really only thing important they'll ever say. All the GMs, because they all do it, and they're never going to tell you who they're taking. But if you ever listen to the Chiefs and Veach, he'll give you one nugget. A couple years ago, it was, I can draft a running back in the 7th or undrafted that can go close to 1,000 yards. He was right because it was Pacheco. Then the year where he said he wanted more second-round picks because that was the hot zone. He made the trade for Orlando Brown. He also gets pick 58 from the Ravens that turned into Nick Bolton. That was in his, quote, hot zone at that point. But the one thing they do say that does matter is how many grades do you have on first-round picks? Because if they come out and say, well, I've got 20 grades on first-round guys, that means you're saying, okay, 20 of the players we consider first-round grades. And typically most GMs are kind of in the same line, whether it's 12, 13, 13 to 18, because other than that, you're really arguing about second-round picks. Towards 18, 19, that's why Trent McDuffie started to slide a bit, and he was in that wheelhouse there where the Chiefs had a first-round grade on him. That's why they wanted to make a move up and get Trent McDuffie because they liked him so much. But a lot of things you have to do as a GM, though, with Nathan, with contracts especially. Like with Mahomes' deal, they really started to put that together before he even played. They started to put that together when they only had video of what he was doing to players in St. Joe or what he was doing to players in the practice field, like Derek Johnson, all these guys talking about how great he was with the things that he was doing, which had to have been tough for the Chiefs not to throw him in that Tennessee game at that point. But they started work on the contract in advance. So, look, I firmly believe Dorsey would still be here if he's better at contracts. He was a good evaluator of talent, wasn't so good as far as the contracts were concerned. But that's a big job for the GM, making trades. Like a Parker Enger for Sirius Ward. So a guy that's doesn't count being traded for a guy that starts in the National Football League, Sirius Ward. Make it a deal. Bringing in Frank Clark. Not having a left tackle. Say, we need a left tackle. Let's call our rival the Baltimore Ravens. We didn't like the Sam Cosmes, Liam Eichenbergs, Alex Leatherwoods, those type of guys to be left tackles for the Kansas City Chiefs in that draft. So, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So they make the trade with the Baltimore Ravens, which is crazy, and they got Orlando Brown. And a lot of people didn't like Orlando Brown. Bottom line is when he got to the promised land, when he got to the game that really counts, there was 0 sacks on Patrick Mahomes when they played the Eagles. Much different story, the Eagles defense getting through the Chiefs offensive line in the last Super Bowl than in Super Bowl 57, a different deal. So you got to be doing all those things as a GM. You have to make smart moves at the deadline. You have to talk players into it. Is this a guy you want? Make a move for DeAndre Hopkins. Make a move to make your team better. So those things, too, that come in with the GM. So what do you think would be the biggest, I don't know, what do you think would be the biggest weakness so far for the front office?
Well, so far in his tenure, I would give Brett Veach, I would say he passes with flying colors when it comes to all of these things that are not included in the draft. And for the most part, the draft, too. I just think last offseason was really bad all the way around. I think the good move was moving on from Joe Thuney. The guy is still a stud. He would have been a stud this year for the team. But
all that guy does is win.
He does. But you didn't notice a Grand Canyon-sized gap between him and Kingsley. So you get out of the contract, you get an asset back. I'm fine with that move. The free agency class, which I'm not going to hold Jalen Moore against him because, again, you don't know if Simmons is going to be there. But
they did have to have somebody there.
They did.
Because Jalen was needed several times this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't the best, no question about it, but there was a guy that they actually needed.
You put that with Christian Fulton, who didn't play much, Elijah Mitchell, who didn't play much.
Until the end of the year, but I thought Fulton was pretty good at the end of the year.
I think he might have played himself into staying with the team next season, or at least because I think he's only got a $5 million dead cap hit. But before the end of the year, no one would have traded for him. So you would have had to still eat $5 million of that 10.
Availability's been an issue.
So now you can either trade him and get all that money off the books, or you can keep him. So I'm happy with what he did late in the year. Point is, free agency bust, draft bust. I like overall when he's made trades for a guy like Clark and Orlando Brown, even though he's given up big assets, they've played big roles on good teams. And then in contracts, I also think until this last offseason, I've agreed with Veach most of the time. I really thought he would pay Orlando Brown top of the market money. I was very glad he didn't. I didn't want him to. I thought that he was going to. I disagree with the decisions to pay Bolton and Karlaftis. But in practicality, they both have outs coming up pretty soon. They're not anchored to them long term, so I can stomach it. I just think overall, draft, free agency, contracts, I think all put together, I just think last offseason was a horrid offseason from the front office. He gets the benefit of the doubt. I'm not calling for anyone's job. Man, you've got to hit this year. And I want to talk about the draft. Like, I believe he is a good drafting GM. I think he's earned that label. Except for on the D-line, man. Like, since Chris Jones, now Karlaftis got a second contract, but I think we all sat here and said, well, they're projecting, the cap's going up. We didn't just say, yeah, this is a player we want to have in Kansas City long term. So that's concerning. But since Chris Jones, outside of George Karlaftis, here's the list of D-linemen this team has drafted. You ready? Mm-hmm. Tano Passanio, Khalil McKenzie, Derek Nani, Breland Speaks, Colin Saunders, Mike Dana, Joshua Kando, Keandre Coburn, B.J. Thompson, Felix Anudike-Uzama, and I'll exclude this last year because the jury is still out on Gelati and Norman Lott. That's inexcusable. Inexcusable. I don't know if it's whoever's scouting that department, if it's Veach, if it's the coaching staff.
Nani was good for this team.
Nani's fine. Dana's been fine.
Yeah, Dana was a 5th-round pick that didn't even go to the combine.
Way too many
But
busts.
you're getting more production from what he was.
Dude, Passanio Speaks, FAU, they have missed so consistently in the front half of the draft at D-line for the better part of a decade, since Chris Jones was drafted. And that is, it has to change. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about, is because he's good at that when it comes to cornerback. We think he's a good GM with the contract evaluation and usually in free agency. This D-line scouting has got to improve. It has to.
Yeah, I always kind of thought that, and with the running back situation as well. There's areas, but I will say this in his defense, as far as free agent signings, there's been some big ones. I think when the Honey Badger got here, it really changed the culture and the direction. Now, towards the end, wasn't the same, but when he went out and signed Tyrann Mathieu, they gave the defense kind of a different attitude and parlayed itself into a Super Bowl. I think the best move he's made, and the jury's still out on Simmons, because if that does work out and it's perfect, that would probably be at the top of the list.
I agree.
But I think right now, the best move he's made as a GM is when Cairo Santos got hurt back in 2017, he went to the Panthers practice squad and grabbed a guy named Harrison Butker.
Yeah, it's a great move.
Off the practice squad, put him on the active roster, and say what you want about missed kicks now and all this. You don't have 3 Super Bowl rings without him that they won. So that was a major GM move that he made.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I think people forget about.
No hate to Harrison Butker. A kicker is not as important in terms of the entire game. But yeah, he's going down in history as one of the more clutch kickers, especially in the history of the playoffs. The guy's got so many big kicks. I think he should be an NFL Hall of Famer. That's how much I like Harrison Butker. A very shrewd move by Brett Veach, no doubt.
We need to find undrafted guys, too, that make a difference, like a Turk Wharton.
Turk Wharton is one of his absolute better finds.
But you find a guy, Missouri S&T, you find a guy like that, he ends up signing, a 3-year, $54 million deal with the Carolina Panthers.
I'd put Jalen Watson up there with his biggest scouting wins, too, and that comes in the position that he usually hits
round,
on.
That Najee Johnson, he did participate in the Super Bowl and special teams and stuff like that, but Pacheco was your starting running back, 7th rounder. Jalen Watson was out there. He was a 7th rounder. They made hay, and they made hay with their offensive line.
Yeah.
Trey Smith, 6th rounder. Creed Humphrey, 2nd rounder. I mean, they've got guys that are they have 3 guys that are the highest paid players at their position. They weren't drafted in the first round.
And I would give him a pass when it comes to the last couple of drafts being underwhelming, me disagreeing with some free agent moves and contract moves last year. I think he's a good GM. The only thing that I think he's consistently missed on is pass rush high in the draft as a GM. And Karlaftis has gotten paid, but again, the team immediately qualified that, saying, hey, we're projecting an improvement from him. The fans sat here and said the cap's going to go up, so it's not going to look as bad. No one sat here and said, yes, we've got that guy here long term.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting into the fact that he got a second contract. I just think, and it might not be a Veach thing. It could be the scout he's listening to. It could be the type of guy Spags is identifying. It could be a position coach. I'm not sure. But that's the one thing that I look at with Brett Veach and say, I'd like that to change.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit more. Let's talk about this pass rush and building this team. I'll give you an update. And it's on commercial now between the Steelers and the Texans as far as that game's concerned. 913-586-7965 is the Jay Southland Tow Service text line, and it's our phone number as well. But the pass rush and developing players, because you always can't have it all. You always can't have it all. We'll discuss that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Start the new year by moving, not hurting. If joint pain's holding you back, then listen up. There's a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on pause. QC Kinetics delivers regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, shoulders, your back, wherever it hurts. Instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments happen right in the office and you go about your day. Skip the 3 to 6 months of recovery. Skip the pain. Skip the invasive surgery. Imagine this instead. You're moving stronger and better and planning the year you want. Game-changing regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. January is supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Stop managing the pain and start solving it with QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more. And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Zero still. The Steelers are driving. They're about the 20-yard line going in. I was looking. There's this weather, Nathan, called Windy City Weather and News. Says it's not confirmed. There is 59,000 followers, so I assume it's real weather for Chicago. I looked at the 10-dayer on the Weather Channel, and it does look a little colder. It looks like 20 degrees for a high, stuff like that on here. But lake effect, man. You can never figure exactly what it's going to be. This is what they say about this weather for the Rams-Bears game this weekend. And the Rams complain themselves. Can you imagine being a Los Angeles team and have to go play this crap? Like, that's what the Dolphins. I remember they lost to the Bills that final game of the year, and they had to come to Kansas City, where it was minus 31 wind chill. Says time not yet confirmed for the Bears and Rams, which we don't know the times. They'll put the times out. We know what days teams are playing, but we don't know the times yet until this game is played between the Steelers and Texans. It says, but the Bears-Rams game on Sunday, model blend wind chills near zero or even below zero, which that would have been warm in Kansas City with minus 31. Can you imagine, like, now playing playoff football in Kansas City? It's been a dream in this city. If we get the early game, it says, could be the coldest playoff game ever played in Chicago. 2 degrees is the coldest game, the Bears and Packers in 2008, which is not only the coldest playoff game, but the coldest ever game at Soldier Field. Actual air temps also forecast. That, my friends, isn't true because the Kansas City game was colder than that, but that's still damn cold for a Los Angeles team to go play in.
It is. Why have we not gotten the game times yet? I know they're waiting for Texans and Steelers, but the winner goes to New England. Isn't Chicago, L.A. the Sunday night game either way?
Yeah, Saturday, you're going to have Bills, Broncos, and 49ers.
That'll be the afternoon.
And, both these games are good. And here's the thing. This 49ers Seahawks being a West Coast game,
yeah,
that's probably going to be your night game. And I'll be honest with you, Bills, Broncos deserves nighttime flair. Like, to be honest with you, that deserves, not in my opinion, it deserves nighttime flair. It's not going to be. It's probably going to be afternoon. But 49ers Seahawks, obviously being a West Coast game, that's going to be, probably the late game, I would assume.
I think those teams are both better, and I think they're in bigger markets. I'm not surprised at all. It's the night game, Seahawks Niners. Well, I guess it will be the night game. We haven't had that confirmed.
In Sunday's Rams Bears,
won't that be the night game? Right? Why are they waiting on that? If the Steelers make it, would they throw them on Sunday night? I can't imagine that.
I don't know unless they want to. If it's the Texans and Patriots, I don't think that'll be the night game Sunday.
No chance.
The Steelers Patriots is a good chance because of the fan bases. The Steelers fans, there's a ton of them.
I suppose.
And obviously the
I just
Patriots.
think that Rams-Bears game, I think, is the one that everyone will expect to be the most competitive, just based on the matchup on paper. But also,
fun game.
These teams find crazy ways to win games, both of them. And the Rams, when they lose, find heartbreaking ways to lose games. I think, we're guaranteed an insane end of that football game. It's by far and away my most excited, the matchup I'm most excited for this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of fun having the Bears-Packers good again because they literally hate each other. I mean, did you see that handshake with LaFleur and Ben Johnson after the game?
Yeah, Johnson kind of backed it up today. He said something along the lines of, they're our rival.
Because, I talked to the owner and all that, but, I'm supposed to hate him because he was blank the Packers, after the game. Remember, this is what he said when he took over the job, Ben Johnson.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
So he set the bar. Like, why are people surprised the handshake is icy? He sets the freaking bar when he was hired.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
And the media chuckles. So if you say this right in your introductory press conference, if you have icy handshakes, I get it, man.
That's so good for the game.
These guys hate each other.
Yeah, and I love that. Love it. And that rivalry needs that. Those two teams haven't been good at the same time outside of that one playoff matchup you mentioned, and I think 2008 it was, in my entire lifetime. I mean, it's so good for the sport to have those two teams in the playoffs, and it looks like based on the quarterbacks and based on some of the other talent there, we should expect that for the foreseeable future. Hopefully we get another few of these snowy, cold playoff matchups between these two teams.
Well, the Packers have talked some smack, too. So when they were rolling the Bears all the time, they were talking some trash. So it's cyclical how this thing
and they
works.
said other night, was it, what's that safety's name? I don't want to say Byard. I'm not sure if I got the right guy, but he said, the Bears didn't do anything well. We lost the game. They're not a good team.
Yeah.
After they just came back down 21-3 in the playoffs.
Chiefs, Raiders. I mean, this is what you want. Because typically these guys are from all over the place. So that just being a rival, you have to really sell it on them.
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs would bring in players from all over the place. You had to sell them. Like Marty did a great job of it. Like you hate the Raiders. That's what you do. Because these guys are from all over the place. They might have played in college, and Ohio State, Michigan's their big game, or Florida, Tennessee, or whatever.
But this year, Andy's taking it easy on Pete Carroll in the fourth quarter. We're giving the Raiders breaks and moral victories. That's how much that's changed.
Yeah, because they're not driving around your stadium. But, so the thing with Ben, though, is with that icy handshake with LaFleur is if you write the checks, you do have to cash them, Nathan, because I will say this. If the Packers go on a roll and they're crushing the Bears, now keep in mind, this is back when he's offensive coordinator with the Lions. Beating Matt LaFleur was his thing. And a lot of people beat Matt LaFleur lately. So it's one of those, he's won one playoff game since 2020, but everybody thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. The Packers have been the 7th seed the last 3 years.
Yep.
But it's cyclical because all of a sudden you start losing to that team, they're going to rub it in, man. Like you're putting that Titleist Pro V1 up on a tee because when you start getting beat, they're going to come at you, and they're going to make you feel pretty bad. They're going to make you feel pretty low, and you're going to need that reporter from Jacksonville to make you feel better after the game. Did you see that?
I did. Just the fans' reaction on Twitter has just been, and people are so upset about it.
Oh, yeah. So a lady asked a question to Liam Cohen, the coach of the Jaguars, after the game. He's very down. He's very upset. And she says, hey, man, don't worry about it. You feel proud of it. There was no question involved. And people lost their minds about it. And she was talked into going down to the press conference. She covers the team, and she's done a lot of sports reviews in the past. I listened to an interview with her later today. And people are up in arms and losing their crap about this. In real, media professionals are real mad about it, right? The people that are in the press box with cheese all over their shirts are very, very upset that someone didn't ask a serious question about a very unserious thing, which is the National Football League, and mad that she didn't tear him apart. And she said something nice to him. And the funny thing is, I don't even care. Like, I don't even care at all. Who cares? I mean, you don't, yeah, is that professionalism? Is that what you want to do? No. Like, in the media, they don't want you getting autographs and things like that. You're supposed to kind of take your fandom, down when you're out there covering the game. You don't wear Chiefs apparel and stuff like that at the game. It's very neutral type stuff. That's just kind of an unwritten rule. I don't know if there's a written rule, but there's kind of an unwritten rule to do it. But so she did things differently, and everybody's freaking out about it. And the funny thing is, these media people, man, I mean, they're so starved for attention. Whether they get attention on acts because something they're wearing or how good they look or something like that, and they're doing that, or the sideline interviews and, trying to get the best interview or whatever, and if someone snubs you, they're a bad guy. I mean, we're talking about the media, like going out there and going after this person for being positive. I'm like, who cares, man? Liam Cohen didn't care. And he's the only one that could have cared.
Oh, he said, thank you, ma'am, about 17 times while she kept going. Yeah, okay, so I think the same thing can be applied to her. I think she was trying to make a statement and get some notoriety about positivity in the current times we're living in. She wanted that to go viral. I think it was kind of intentional because you're going to have those private moments in the locker room where you brush past somebody and you say, hey, man, see you next year. You could be positive off camera, so that wasn't her only opportunity.
Has anybody looked at what the actual covering media does for teams? They like to take pictures of outside the stadium or inside the stadium or the food spread or things that have nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
And they like to do that.
This was my
training
first
camp, who's walking down the hill and not. Think about that. Think about all the ridiculousness out there from people that are paid professionals to do it. And then she does this and everybody loses their mind about it. It's like, think about what these people are doing.
Yeah, here's my thing. This is my first year in the Chiefs press box, locker room, those sorts of things. Very grateful to Spec for the opportunity for that. But seeing the people that you read and listen to, except for Nate Taylor, that's the best human I've ever met. So he is not included in this. I love that guy. The rest of these guys are like shoving past you to get on the elevator and like contested in the locker room for views. It's just like, guys. And by the way, when they get their chance to ask questions, which she wasted one of the 20 questions, they stumble through it for 3 minutes and can't get it out.
You're
and they're not
get
concise.
A true answer.
It's like, so like, what are you going to say? How does it feel to lose the playoff game? Like, he's all just going to say, we got to look at the tape. We did some things well. Thought we had a chance, but we didn't make the plays. And sad for the guys.
You want to
hear that 19 more times?
Blank the team.
Man, I don't know. I think it's way overblown.
I mean, yeah. So what? I mean, they didn't ask the type. Again, you know the ridiculous that goes on, right? You know the ridiculous to the food line or whatever, and the pictures that you have there, and
those guys don't play about food. You better not. You better let them get in line first.
How the parking lot looks or how the stands look. I mean, there is a lot of ridiculousness that goes out there that I don't care about. It's fine. It's your own account. Do what you want, but don't criticize somebody just because they're not asking what you'd want to ask or acting like you want them to act. I mean, a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way.
We forget sometimes it's a game. I think that's kind of out of the window. So we'll talk about that this game next, but I do want to get in the offensive coordinator, which we'll do after the break. But I do want to address what the Bills are selling. With Highmark Stadium now being officially done, there's something I'm going to get you as a last-minute gift, Nathan. I'll discuss that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Listen up. It's 2026, and this is going to be your best year yet when it comes to sex. You know why? Because you're finally going to take the advice and try the chewable tablets from Blue Chew. Blue Chew's tablets help you feel and perform at your best, and their licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient for your prescription. Be more confident where it counts. Blue Chew's a small chew for a big difference because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. You know, just like the athletes that we love to root on for every single day of the week, these athletes have to be able to show up when it matters during the game's most exciting moments. You need to show up during life's most exciting moments. Be ready when she is. It's not just about performance. Give your partner something to brag to their friends about, because nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use the promo code KFNZ at checkout. You just cover $5 for shipping. That's promo code KFNZ. Just cover $5 for shipping. That's it. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. Now through February 1st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back to After Hours. Nathan, the Texans have not gotten Aaron Rodgers yet. Steelers up 3-0 on the Houston Texans. But this is just how they play the game, man. With this thing extremely, extremely close down to the end.
Yeah, and Rodgers notoriously gets the ball out quick. Everyone said that he cares about that more than Garrett, or he cared about Garrett getting the sack record more than the win, which wasn't true. But we do know that Smith and Rodgers can formulate a game plan to get that ball out quick against a good pass rush. So we'll see. The Texans hit a big play to Christian Kirk early in the game, couldn't get points out of it. So both teams kind of stuck in the mud offensively to, I would say, no one's surprise.
No one's surprised. So I sent this to Gene Battaglia. He does a radio show in the New York, covers the Buffalo Bills. Goes there one of their training camps. We became friends back in 2017 when Buffalo so kindly gave the Chiefs the 10th pick in the draft with the trade that they got a guy named Patrick Mahomes in that trade. So we've been talking ever since, and obviously been back and forth, the Chiefs and Bills, the regular season, the postseason, the only thing that matters. So I sent this to him and said he needs it. The Buffalo Bills are auctioning off urinal troughs from Highmark Stadium. This from Front Office Sports. The team is auctioning off parts of their now former stadium before moving into their $2.1 billion home next season, which was designed by a Kansas City company. So they always have that to go with them, Buffalo. But the trough, the urinal trough, I'm sure they will clean this thing, which, I mean, that would be pretty much necessary. I don't think you'd want to take a trough that 1 million people have used and put it in your house. But, yeah, you could have your very own trough. Now, we're not talking urinal here. We're talking a freaking trough.
Right? How many troughs do you think there are in the stadium? 50, 100?
They used to have them at the K.
Yeah, but you only need one in each bathroom. So it's not like urinals where there's probably thousands of them. How many troughs do you think there are in a couple dozen?
In Buffalo?
Yeah.
I have no idea. The stadium was built just 1 year after Arrowhead.
My biggest problem with what you said is the
Which
word
is kind of weird because they never
auctioning.
changed them.
Yeah. They're auctioning them.
What would they sell it
Not selling
for?
them, meaning they think people are going to bid on these, as in there's a
I
greater
would.
demand.
I would.
No chance.
If Arrowhead had troughs and they were selling them or auctioning them, I'd probably put a bid.
And put it where?
In the basement.
Oh, my gosh.
And use it.
There is no way the number of people that would seriously put a trough in their home outweighs the number of troughs that come from that stadium. No
But your
chance.
friends would love it. Your friends would love it. They think that was awesome. They go and say, man, this guy's got a trough in his house. So you can have a million things in your house that you think are cool or your wife perceives as cool, but there is nothing as cool as when someone uses your trough during a game to go to the bathroom. I'm serious. You could decorate your living room and whatever and have nice things and knickknacks all over the place. The urinal will be the discussion piece at work the next day.
I don't think any married men will be putting troughs in their homes. I'm going to go out on that limb right now. Frat house, okay, that's kind of cool. That's a conversation starter. In just someone's home with a wife and 2 kids, zero chance.
When I was in college, there was a bar there, and they had a trough. And the owner of it was named Lou. And I'd say, hey, Lou, it's time to go. And he'd go back there and put ice in there for us. So I'd go back there and melt ice. That's fun, man.
Oh,
You ever
my
melted
gosh.
ice in a trough. I mean, ice in a trough when you're in school, man, that's fun. But a urinal would be a lot of fun, too. I just think it'd be fun to have that. And you said that there are people that have them. Well, I mean, I know there are people that have them.
George Brett has urinals in his house.
Well,
I know that for a
that's
fact.
great, and that's awesome. You're a Hall of Famer, you get a urinal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
In a man cave or something, this is absolutely perfect to have.
I also just think this is the ownership group that like wants to pay fans $20 to come do hard labor at their stadium and shovel snow, like just so you could stay. You shoveled the Bills stadium. Like, hey, we'll give you a hot dog if you come out here and work.
We clean this
instead of
urinal.
paying some service tens of thousands of dollars to come out here and clear it professionally. So like, it's just like when teams sell bricks or whatever outside of the stadium. Like, we need more cash.
It's not a urinal though, man. They can engrave your name on it.
The urinal or the brick?
Put Nathan Williams right there in the trough.
And then everyone would have a target when they use the trough, wouldn't they?
I mean, I would take it and put like a Broncos logo or Raiders logo or something like that.
Oh,
or
my gosh.
A White Sox or Blue Jays, something like that. I mean, you subscribe to who the rivals are, and that's what you pee on.
It'd be a White Sox logo if it was in my house. I think it'd be a White Sox logo. Yeah, I can't stand those guys.
Well, see, that would be fun. Didn't you have a reason to go all with that? I don't know. I just saw this and I was like, man, because I know they had these
So what are
auctions.
you offering? What would you offer for an Arrowhead trough?
What do they go for? I mean, this is probably since 1973. It was probably a 50-year-old trough.
And they're being auctioned. They're not up for sale. They're being auctioned.
I mean,
So
what's a going rate for that? $500? It's probably a lot more than that. Probably. It's probably worth $1,000.
Zero chance.
They sold the Cheers bar for like $600,000. They
Yeah.
auctioned off the actual bar where like Norm and Cliff and everybody
Yeah.
sat at the Cheers bar. Now that would be fun as hell to have in your basement. If people came over and said that's the actual Cheers bar, that's where Norm sat.
That'd
and
be
you'd
so
actually
much
have the
more.
Cheers bar,
That'd
and
be
then
so
you
much
could go
cooler than
use
a
a
trough.
urinal.
So much cooler than a trough because you can remain decent and still sit at the bar.
Just have both.
Oh my goodness.
Just have both. Why not? Melt cubes. Do whatever you want.
Just got a text from Kling. Josh Klingler said Ryan Lilja had a urinal at his house. The more you know.
See?
So Kling, what would you pay for a trough?
See,
I'll listen off the air.
high-profile, classy athletes have these things. There's a reason everybody needs these things.
It's an indicator of class as a trough. It's the higher levels of society that have troughs. Is that
But
what you're saying?
I'm telling you, there's nothing better than saying, hey, Lou, I got to go. Oh, I'll be right back. He would come in, fresh ice. Fresh ice. And the steam comes off it. Like, right, it's fun. It makes it fun.
Imagine peeing, but with your friends. Imagine if you could say to your friends, hey, come with me.
You don't bring your friends into the trough. You go there
I
by
think
yourself.
I think that's the reason you want the trough. I
don't, because you wouldn't miss.
So why not go regular urinal then? Why go trough
Well,
over
it's fine,
urinal?
too. I'm good with the urinal. Now we know these high-classy athletes have them. It's perfect.
913 says they'd repurpose it into a planter or something, some landscaping project. Okay.
You going to show somebody your shrubbery in a
careful
trough? Look, check
No
out my
comment.
ferns. They're in a trough. Don't pee on them.
Check out my shrubbery. Bink, remind me to never come to your house, man.
Well, I don't have it yet. I mean, I would gladly take it. I mean, it's like a beer fan's dream, man, to have the trough. They will sell these things. These will be high-quality items. These will be high-quality items, Nathan. People will want these troughs, and they'll be putting bids in. Cody and Gold need them for the garage sale. Can you imagine what they would fetch for these with their garage sale? A lot.
We're missing the mark here, man. You'd have to pay me to put a trough in my
The
house.
thing is, you're not going to miss the mark.
This is crazy.
Well, I saw this and I was like, you know what? This is actually kind of cool. It's something for Buffalo to enjoy. This might be the only enjoyment they have.
I just do what every
This
other
might be the
stadium
only
does.
damn thing they ever win.
Do what every other stadium does. Get yourself a chair and put it in the living room at next to the TV where you're watching the game. Get an old seat from the stadium. A trough, really?
Now that I would love to have, like old stadium seats or something.
100%.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, before the Chiefs put those new plastic seats in a few years ago,
Yeah.
if I had one of the old original ones, I would love that.
You know, the coolest thing I ever saw was Platte County, their high school football stadium. Their colors are black and orange. And remember the old orange seats? Are you old enough for that, Nathan, or no?
Yeah.
So the old orange seats. Well, I never bring up baseball, but it is maybe earlier in your time. But they orange seats. And they put those in the football stadium. That looked really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I bet that did.
And one of the things USA Today or something, they had like top 20 high school stadiums or something. That was, one of them. But you put those old seats. Yeah, those red Arrowhead seats probably fetch quite a bit of money. I mean, there's going to be some serious auction items for people in 2030, right after the seasons. There's going to be some major things to get.
No more troughs in Arrowhead, to my knowledge, right now, right? They're completely urinal.
I'm going to buy that dugout and put it in your living room.
Oh, that's cool.
You actually like that.
I'd love that, yeah. So it's a very common photo op at Kauffman Stadium now is that fake dugout right inside Gate B, man.
Yeah, but I just think there's something about a urinal that makes us happy as men. Anyway, we'll talk about Chiefs offensive coordinator. Next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
The football playoffs are here, and if you're looking for the best place to play, you gotta check out Underdog. To kick off Wild Card Weekend, Underdog is dropping a massive offer. They're adding a gimme pick on a QB of your choice from any of the wild card games just to get you started. It's the easiest way to play. You just pick your favorite players and decide if they'll go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, or receptions. I've been using the Underdog app all season long, and I love it. It's simple. This week, I'm looking at the Saturday matchups. I'm taking Caleb Williams lower than 208.5 passing yards. If you get your picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today and use promo code BOB to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 with promo code BOB. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
This message is brought to you by Pizza Hut, because if you're yelling hot on Sundays, why not yell pizza first, Jonas?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Especially when it comes to Pizza Hut. It's so good.
How about the Big New Yorker, Jonas? That's right. It's their biggest pizza, bro. And right now, it's just $10.
I mean, LeVar, that just smells and tastes like success. And for only $10, sign me up.
Before the first hut, grab the Big New Yorker and you're set for the whole game.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Nathan Williams. Think you guys will discuss this stuff in the morning?
I'm putting it in the rundown.
Are you?
100%.
I bet they wouldn't shy away from it. I bet they do it.
Yeah,
I bet Dusty would want one of these.
6:45 segment topic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good 8:45 little lead up to the 9 o'clock hour right there.
Perfect. From the
100%.
913 Sidelines. It's a establishment, I guess. In Sabetha, Kansas, has a trough. Great time. I'm telling you, there's probably a large percentage of people that appreciate things like this. And I know it sounds like, I would never. It's the same people that don't admit to peeing in a pool, right? There's a lot of people think they're too classy. They don't pee in a pool. That's a load of crap. Everybody pees in a pool. As long as they don't have one of those things where it turns colors around where you are, you're good to go. Now, you may just kind of casually, hey, you don't have one of those things that turns my pee green, do you? It's like you might ask that and throw it in. No, the same people that don't admit to peeing in a pool, which everybody does, and are the ones that don't enjoy a trough.
I mean, I've peed in the pool before.
Exactly.
Like even
I
as an
still
like,
do.
I'm not saying as like, I was maybe a kid. Like, no, I've peed in the pool
As an
before when I've
adult?
had to.
As
But
an
it's not like a
adult?
common occurrence.
On your honeymoon?
No. And I'm not peeing in every pool, right?
No.
I don't. The fact that your stance on this and the text line stance on this says is great time. It's
It
a
is
lot
great-
of fun.
it is fun
It's
time.
because it's a group activity and you can't convince me otherwise.
No. A lot of times they're not. I mean, at Lou's, one spot, and he would put ice in. And if you had it at home, you'd have fresh ice for the trough. You know, you'd stop at Hy-Vee there, whatever, grab a bag of ice, and be like, it's for the trough. It's for the melting that'll commence later on. But it is a great time.
You're spending $2.29 a day for your pea ice.
It's not every day. It's for big games. You know, you get trough ice for like playoff games. Definitely the NFL
all right,
playoffs.
so okay, I think I'm thinking
Sunday
with
night
you.
football,
You
Monday
come
night
out of the
football,
bathroom,
that's where
you
you
fill
enjoy
up the
peeing.
drink. You got new ice in the cup. You drink it. Commercial break. Your drink's gone.
I'm
You
not
take the
saying
cup to
take
the
your cup
bathroom.
to the
Dump it in
bathroom.
dump it in the
No.
trough. Melt the ice. Come out of the bathroom. Repeat the cycle.
Who the hell uses ice? Beer doesn't use ice. And you don't store your beer in the pee either.
Hey, I'm trying to get on board with your idea here. You should give me some credit.
785. See, we talk Mahomes and the draft. We'll talk it all night. And
Yeah, but where else do you get this
and
talk?
I get
you know,
785. Peeing in the ocean is the greatest feeling ever. I mean, this is where what we've got to. Instead of I want Reuben Bain. I want Jeremiah Love. I want this. No, I want to pee in the ocean.
Yeah, peeing in the ocean's good, but can't that come back to bite you? Like,
There's
actually,
things in there
literally?
that can bite you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something. It's definitely something.
I've peed in two oceans at least.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've
Like
definitely peed in the
Atlantic,
Atlantic
Pacific?
and the Pacific. At
Are you
least.
serious? Cross country.
Yeah.
Really? It's
Yeah.
impressive. I think you
Pete in the Gulf.
I think you enjoy it much more than you admit to, Nathan.
Lakes, rivers, yeah.
Pools,
Nah.
hot tubs.
No, not the hot tub. That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't even
Not if it's yours.
You can't even picture going somewhere else in the hot tub.
What else do you do,
I'm
though?
drawing the line at
No,
hot
think
tub.
Think about it, though. You're out in the hot tub. It's like 15 degrees outside. You're like, I'm not getting up and going to the bathroom. I ain't doing it. If I sit here, let one out, no one knows.
Oh, at a minimum, I'm standing up and going off over the side.
No one knows. The moral of the story is don't sit in the pool with me.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Because
Loud
you
and
know
clear,
why I'm
Bink.
smiling. You know why I'm laughing.
Yeah, man.
Because it's going to happen. No, different subject. Let's talk offensive coordinator. That's a great one right now. The offense stunk. We know that. But do you fall in line? I've gone back and forth on this, but obviously it's a hot button issue, as far as talking about who do you need to be a replacement for offensive coordinator. And I'll say this, Nathan, and you know all about the real world. You're out there working in the real world. And whenever there's job openings, people jump at them. They do. And especially when it's a coveted place, like someone with thick skin, you have to, because you're going to be sitting there with the guy in Andy Reid with 3 rings. You're going to be sitting there with the guy that's number 2 all time as far as postseason coaching wins, right? Who's been to 6 Super Bowls. And then also you're going to have to deal with the guy that's won 3 Super Bowls and is a 3-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time league MVP. And you have to have the gumption to tell them what the hell to do. So it takes a tough person to do it. And not only that, though, I think it becomes more of a young up-and-comer. I never realized that, a proven coach to come in here like a Mike McDaniel, heard plenty of that. Well, it's going to be tough for anybody that's been a head coach in the league to want to step back. It's not, it's still a great job being an offensive coordinator in the NFL, but you're an offensive coordinator in the NFL with the head coach that you got to run everything by. It's not your offense. Like if I have this job, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs job, Nathan, and you get it, you know damn well you're not calling whatever you want. That's going through Big Red. He's going to have the control over what goes out on the field and what doesn't. And, the quarterback's going to have input, too. So it takes somebody that's a young and up-and-comer. I know a guy named Nathan Shieldhouse, and his name's been thrown out a lot. And there might be something to him, to be honest with you. He got 3 head coaches interviews
There's
lined
something
up.
to him. It's just not happening here.
It's probably not. But the one thing that he does have going for him, one, he seems like he's a bright guy. He played at Rockhurst High School, played at Illinois. That was back in the day. We had 3 high school kids from the area playing in the Big Ten. But he's doing what he does. He's becoming a coach. But you're working with Sean McVay, too. Like, you're getting that wisdom. Now, he's not an offensive coordinator, passing game, coordinator. He's not the OC, which is different. But you know what? Andy Reid wasn't an OC. And more teams are kind of going away from that to try to groom somebody young with a lot of fresh ideas into their system. I brought up, Nathan, Hayden Fry. I like to bring up that name a lot. And I brought up this weekend. He was the legendary coach at Iowa. And when he hired coaches, he had one thing in specific he wanted. Can you become a head coach? Like if I hire you to be a special teams coach, an offensive coordinator, passing game coordinator, run coordinator, I want you not to be just happy with that. I don't want you happy with that job. I want you constantly trying to be the next OC, the next head coach. You name it, you go someplace else. So Hayden had guys like Mullen. He had Barry Alvarez. He had Bill Snyder. He had Bob Stoops. And I know Stoops went to Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's a legendary program, but don't forget how bad Oklahoma sucked. It was falling on hard times before Bob Stoops got there, and he turned it around. And obviously, we don't even talk about what Bill Snyder did at Kansas State. Unbelievable stuff. Barry Alvarez did some great stuff at Wisconsin. I know people talk about Signetti and Snyder and turnarounds and things like that. What Barry Alvarez did at Wisconsin's right up there as well. But I love that attitude, right? I don't want to hire you unless I think you want to be a head coach, unless I think you have the desire to be it, because you don't want a guy that just that's where they fit and that's what they do. And Cliff Kingsbury was a guy. I had this discussion back when I was on a day shift with Henry, and we did it as a topic, Nathan. And it was the Chiefs ought to look into bringing Cliff Kingsbury in as a consultant. And the reason I wanted that, obviously, was because they got Mahomes. He was Mahomes' head coach. Cliff Kingsbury's on thin ice at Texas Tech. And then you think about the grand scheme of Cliff Kingsbury, And do you want somebody pigeonholed in and saying that's his role? Because that can be fine too. If they're willing to admit that's who they are. Dom Capers admitted who he was, defensive-minded guy. Norv Turner, you had a nice little run there as head coach, did some good things there, but didn't win a ring, but he's an offensive coordinator. You know, Spags, in my mind, is a defensive coordinator. Like, sometimes you kind of got to know who and what you are. When Kingsbury was at Tech, they were 128th in scoring defense. There's only 128 teams at the time. And then he had his then things blew up for him. I mean, I was like, they had to bring this guy in as a consultant, have him sit here for a year, then maybe be the OC after that. This bright young college mind who obviously works well with Mahomes. He's the one that got Mahomes drafted in the top 10. They work well together. Let's bring him in. Then everything just kind of went crazy for Kingsbury. He was named offensive coordinator at USC. That lasted a week because the Arizona Cardinals came calling and made him a head coach. So he goes from fired coach at Texas Tech to all of a sudden, he gravy trained off Mahomes. Let's be honest. Like, Mahomes coach, hey, this guy has the hottest thing in the NFL. Let's make him a head coach. So that's the way things work. Like, Tom Brady's got a lot of people jobs. And I think Johnny Manziel at A&M got people jobs like David Beatty when they went on other places. Like, people gravy train off somebody else's success, and that happens. But he's done good things with Washington. Obviously, the NFC Championship game last year. But here's the deal. I know that, I'm sitting here saying you should want to be a head coach, but you'd have to bring yourself down and say, if you come here, you're never going to be a head coach, because I don't think he ever will. But he may want to still be one. I don't think he'd be a great head coach again. Could he be a great offensive coordinator? Who knows? Would he want to leave this team and be a head coach? Maybe, but it's not going to be his offense. That's the thing. We're talking about a former head coach in the NFL. Is he willing to relinquish that power, to be the OC? Eric Bieniemy was the name Nate Taylor brought up, kind of leader in the clubhouse. And I will say this about EB. I'm not a fan of retreads at all. Like Nagy, Peterson, anybody that's been here before, don't want them. Like Juju Smith-Schuster, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, any retreads, Mike Pennell, anybody that's been gone and comes back. And I know they've been a fan of it because they're loyal and they know the system. And you saw that's why Clyde was activated instead of Elijah Mitchell in Buffalo this year, because he knew the system and knew what they did.
Okay, so McCole Hardman's not on your wish list for the offseason. Got it. All right.
No. No, that's not on the wish list. But I will say this about EB in his defense. He didn't mind saying what's on his mind. He didn't mind at all. Like, he would go right to Andy Reid or Patrick Mahomes, you name it, he would tell them exactly the way it is. And don't forget, he was instrumental and went on the sideline and said, do we have time to run Wasp?
Yeah.
And a good offensive coordinator knows that, and he would, be instrumental in putting the plays together for Andy Reid, memorize the play sheet and stuff for game day. So there is that aspect. Because you always have, and this sounds really crude, but it's the truth. Nathan, here's the deal, and see if you agree. It's like if your wife, buys a dress and she puts it on, you're going out, right? And she says, do I look good in this dress? Mm-hmm. And you say, no, you don't. You look terrible. Should have bought the red one. And she's going to be pissed.
Sure.
But a lot of guys would probably say, oh, baby, you look great, man. Mm-hmm. You look great. You look great. Because you don't want to upset the apple cart right there. So you're going to lie. But is it better to lie, or is it better to just tell the truth and say, no, you don't? Because that's what you need as a coach. That's what you need as a GM. You need somebody that's not telling you what you want to hear. They're telling you what you need to hear. And that's the biggest separation. That's why some organizations win. It's why some of them lose, because they hire people in, positions, that take care of friends and relatives and things like that. And you get a bunch of yes men instead of people that will say, no, I don't like it. You don't look good. But unfortunately, those are hard to find. But when you do find them, those are the successful ones.
They are. And I know we need to step aside here. I'd like to chime in on the other side of that. Okay. C.J. Stroud just had a brutal turnover, gave the Steelers the ball in the red zone. So Steelers are down 7-3, but trying to chip away at that before the half. But C.J. Stroud was just an awful fumble, I think you'd call it, to give the Steelers prime field position here with about 5 minutes left in the first half.
And we'll discuss more of the playoffs next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Did you know we have an Instagram channel? MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, Best Bets, Fantasy Football Advice, and real-time updates during Chiefs games. Get behind-the-scenes content from all the guys on a daily basis. It's exactly why Instagram was created, to look at a bunch of 30-year-old dudes giving sports opinions. Kansas City's FM sports station and your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Welcome back after hours. Jay Binkley, Nathan Williams. 7-3 Houston at this point. 3:06 left in the second quarter to find out who plays the New England Patriots at New England next.
Yeah, the Steelers might benefit from really good field position here. This Texans defense, man, gosh, I know it's 40-whatever-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I think they can ride this defense to the Super Bowl. I really do. These guys just fly around the field, man. It's got real, like, 2015 Broncos vibes to it. This Texans defense is something else.
They opportunistic. They never give up. They always hang in the game. That defense keeps them in the game, and they always just make the play. It's not, Denver rides like this. Chicago rides like this. Caleb's got seven fourth quarter game-winning drives. That's insane. I mean, that's how the Chiefs play football. That's what I was saying. I'm watching that Buffalo Bills game, and I'm thinking, gosh, Buffalo, man. Josh Allen's lucky, man. He's lucky Trevor Lawrence is on the other sideline and not Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, the Jaguars probably would have been the weirdest one, but you just mentioned the Bears. Texans-Bears is a very realistic Super Bowl outcome. What a strange year this is. You know what I mean?
Would that be a rating? I mean, think about Houston, the fourth largest city in America.
Chicago's the third, yeah. It would
Chicago,
be,
you have 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So obviously you have huge fan bases.
The ratings would do just fine with them.
A Super Bowl's different, though. You could put anybody in the Super Bowl and people probably watch. Honestly, they would. It's like when the Cardinals were in it and stuff like that, people watch. It is a big event. It's like a holiday. I mean, you get everybody together, family, friends. So it would get good ratings.
I mean, Pittsburgh or Buffalo are the small markets.
I know they're big markets, but there's something about like Josh Allen in the Super Bowl, something like that, that's going to be, drive the ratings or something.
It'll sell no matter who it is.
It would be funny for the national media types that thought, well, the Chiefs don't need to be in the playoffs or whatever, because you know what? Thing is, if the Chiefs made it, they would have watched. You know why? Because that's what they did. Because 50 of the top 100 programs in America were Chiefs games.
It would have been really great to see, like,
Jacksonville,
the top 5, Carolina.
4 of the top 5 highest rated games in the NFL this year were Kansas City Chiefs games. Yeah, they would have watched.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we'll see if that would have mattered at this point. But D'Amico Ryans just knew this was going to happen. I mean, this is why the guy was hired. This guy is crazy good. And Will Anderson got drafted by them. Like, he's going to work out.
I think so.
With D'Amico, he's going to be good. Hey, and I always respect the team that drafted 3 Kansas City kids, man.
And they pulled that trade of Will Anderson off here in Kansas City. I remember that was a trade after the draft started. I don't even think the trade was announced until after Stroud was picked at 2, if I remember right. But being in that crowd, you're like, what are they doing?
Well, think about how long ago that was. Again, that was Carson Beck's draft class, or quarterback class
yeah.
that Stroud was in, and it was drafted in Kansas City. Think about how long ago that seems.
Good grief.
Yeah. Christian Kirk leads the way. 3 catches, 46 yards, and a touchdown for Houston. But if C.J. Stroud, he's got a little bit of a fumble problem in this game. He's got 4 of them. He's lost, 2 of them. If he could ever become that dude like he did in year 2, I mean,
they stripped him of his left tackle. He lost his wide receiver 2.
And they did not help his situation.
They've lost like 5 running backs to injuries and free agency before they got to Woody Marks. I mean, they did everything they could to sabotage their starting quarterback. And I'm not saying he's having a great year, but he's still standing. I mean, he regressed majorly in year 2 and didn't take a step forward again in year 3. So the long-term outlook might not be great. In terms of a competitor, making the play late, knowing how to win football games, I think this year has been huge for C.J. Stroud when it comes to that development. Put some resources into the O-line, get Tank Dell back next year, and let's see what he's got in year 4.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at some of these quarterbacks and what they do at the end of games, because honestly, this is why you don't pigeonhole and define people for their roles. Like Caleb Williams, for example.
Yeah.
He was the lowest rated starting quarterback in the NFL as far as completion percentage. He was 34th in the NFL in completion percentage. So with those group of receivers, right? Mm-hmm. Drake May has 1 game over 300 yards passing. That's it. All this year, 13 games last year, he's got 1 game. And clearly he could do it because he threw for 367 in that game. Yeah. It's like Mendoza at Indiana. They don't really ask him to do it. Like Mendoza was 17 to 20 for 177, but he had 5 touchdowns. Dude had 2 more touchdowns.
I know. They didn't completion.
Insane. But again, this time of year, you find out who you are. Yeah. And, it's yesterday I just retweeted. I think
Stroud's got it.
I retweeted it just for fun because people forget. Because there's all that Justin Herbert and how he can't win in the postseason, which you can't.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is embarrassing. He has 0 playoff wins, and everybody loves Justin Herbert. 0 playoff wins in 6 years. Think about this. Mahomes, in 8 seasons, has 17 playoff wins. Mm-hmm. That is 17-0. Yet, the Chargers and Chargers fans will have you believe that Justin Herbert's the truth.
I know it.
And the fact is, he can't get through the first round of the playoffs. He doesn't win in the postseason. He loses. And that team loses. When Patrick Mahomes has 17 playoff wins and he has 0, that is a drop the mic, no argument. You can't argue with that. Matter of fact, only Tom Brady can argue with Mahomes about that because guess what? Tom Brady has the most playoff wins. Patrick Mahomes, at his young age, just turned 30 this year, already at number 2 in NFL history.
It's remarkable.
Not active players' history. Peyton Manning had 14 playoff wins. Yeah. Blew right by him. Joe Montana had 16. Patrick Mahomes passed him last year.
To say Mahomes has passed Montana still doesn't sound right.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane what they've done in the postseason. For a town that went 22 years without winning a playoff game until he showed up. 17 postseason wins.
Look, and I'm tired of it with Herbert. I'm tired of it. I mean, he was down his tackles yesterday, sure. He was atrocious. Every single time he was faced with a decision, he made the wrong one.
He didn't have any bad throw, and he's got a hurt hand.
He held on to the ball.
He sucked.
I don't care. He threw 87 interceptions last year against the Texans in that wild card game. He was up 27-0 against the Jaguars a few years before that, blew that one. The guy he's Dak Prescott or Baker Mayfield. He can do some shiny things in the regular season. When the playoffs come, largely he's going to disappoint. And even those guys have won in the wild card round before. So I'm tired of acting like there's this tier 1A that exists just for Justin Herbert. And it's, the big 4, and then it's like you got this Herbert class who, like, as soon as he wins, will anoint him. Like, well, I don't know why we do that with him. He's not a winner.
Yeah, and Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, I love this response from Harbaugh. Asked about Greg Roman, and he goes, I don't have an answer right now. If he's going to stay or not, that's an honest answer. I don't know. And you know what? They shouldn't, because you know what? If you're worried about your line, which they should have been, because this line has been bad for a long time, because Rashawn Slater didn't play at all this year. He's hurt in training camp. Joe Alt got hurt early on in the season. He got hurt twice, but It was early in the season. You make adjustments. And if it comes to it, you do a lot of different things. Screens, you work on your running game, the short pass game. You do what the 49ers do.
I was just going to say that.
You do what the 49ers do. You come up with the game plan to beat your opponent you're playing, but they didn't, and it was embarrassing the way Herbert played.
Yeah, Purdy's O-line is hurt. We say Herbert's better than Purdy. We say he has better wide receivers than Purdy does. He even lost Kittle yesterday. The Niners have the running back advantage, no question about it, but the Niners were also playing a better defense than the Chargers were yesterday.
You remember a couple weeks ago he loses Trent Williams and Pearsall right there at the beginning.
Yeah.
And Trent at least came back.
There is not an excuse you can sell me with Justin Herbert as to why he has not had more success in his career. It's out. Time's up. He's not a winner.
Well, the thing is, and you look at it, and Burrow hadn't led that team in the playoffs the last 2 years. You get Trevor Lawrence sitting there with one playoff win against the Chargers. Believe it or not, it was the Chargers that he beat. And you got Mahomes with 17 playoff wins. Yet the national media, they're watching NFL Network or ESPN, they won't talk about it. Mm-hmm. They won't talk about the fact that Mahomes finally, when he got hurt, he didn't lose in either the AFC title game in overtime because his only playoff losses aren't like what Trevor Lawrence did yesterday, throwing an interception. His only playoff losses were in overtime of the AFC title game or the Super Bowl.
One of which he didn't touch the football.
Doesn't get talked about.
Yeah, it's
at 17 playoff wins, never gets talked about. Peyton Manning took 9 years to win a Super Bowl. 9 years. Mahomes' second year starting. It took Peyton Manning 6 years to win a playoff game. 6. Joe Flacco actually has more playoff wins than Dan Marino. People don't realize that.
Yeah, but it's why I people say he's on track to be in the GOAT conversation when he retires. I believe he retires today. He's the second best quarterback of all time. Montana and Bradshaw have the extra ring. A couple guys like Manning have way more MVPs. When you put it all together, I think if he quit right now, I would definitively call him the second most accomplished quarterback in NFL history.
I looked back at his 8-year starting, and as a team, they've averaged 106 yards on the ground a game. That's it. I mean, it's usually fluctuated. He's won a Super Bowl when they've averaged 98 yards a game as a team rushing. Instead of like 125 or 130, 98.
Well, and in those games, he was probably half of that.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course. But it's weird looking at it. And you're talking about a team. Yes, they had Tyreek Hill at the beginning, but he was the 5th-round pick, right? So you had him at the beginning. But he did it basically with Kelsey because he had DeMarcus Robinson that you saw yesterday. Had a great game. Sky Moore. MVS. Kadarius Toney. Like, he's done it with those guys. He didn't do it with Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison like Peyton Manning. He didn't have that. He didn't have
Dallas
Jerry
Clark
Rice like
and Joseph Adai and Edwin
Brandon
James.
Stokely. But, again, who are the pieces that are around them that they did well with, and who did they win with? And when draft was in Kansas City, 5 of the 7 picks were all on defense. They've given Mahomes one receiver a year. And come hell or high water, he's got to work or not. And Sky Moore wasn't it. Rashee Rice was the second leading receiver as far as his rookie year, only behind Puka.
Yeah, but he can't beat man coverage. And
was Jalen Royals. It's not like they went out and drafted Tedderell McMillan for him. They didn't do that. You know, they haven't drafted him weapons. He's made stars out of himself. But can you imagine a situation where a draft was about him? And I get we want pass rush and all that, but imagine if it was about him. What would happen? It'd be incredible. Peacock wants to try something else with their broadcast for NFL football. I'm curious if people would actually want this next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine. to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Welcome back to After Hours, Jimmy Clean, Nathan Williams. Yeah, these are the times we'll test you, right? Like, these are the time I told people this during the Royals run, right? When Vern was doing the live show in Chicago, I went with him out to Chicago when they finally made the post. When they clinched it back in 2014, I was out there with him for that. We talked. It was like it's either all night or half the night, something like that, long show, and all these people were calling in. And it's like I really enjoyed the callers that were calling in saying they've always liked the Royals, and they dealt with the good times and bad times. They weren't the people went on putting different hats on at different teams at different times, and all of a sudden the Royals got good, and they jumped on the bandwagon and said, oh, I've always been a fan. Well, you can't always be a fan unless you're a fan when they were bad. Just like the Chiefs. If you're my age and you grew up in this town, they sucked for a long time. Winning playoff games didn't happen. I called the streak between Arrowhead and Kaufman the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, because that's what it freaking was. 22 years without a Chiefs playoff win. They've been 3 straight Super Bowls, 5 out of 6. And you would think, though, hearing from some people, that the sky is absolutely fallen, that they've been robbed of their fanhood because the Chiefs had 6 wins. Like, seriously. Like, this is how some people are with this team. Like, they forget they've been to 3 straight Super Bowls. They forget that Patrick Mahomes has 3 rings. We didn't have rings in this town. You had to be alive back in 1970 to remember it, okay? Well, 50 freaking years. Over 50 years, right? And you'd have to think about that. So the sky isn't falling. You know what? There's a lot of teams that are a lot worse off. Look at Philadelphia. They thought they had a little dynasty going, right? They won the Super Bowl last year. They get beat in the first round of the playoffs. Browns never even been. Lions never even been. How would you like to be a Lions fan? Oh, they look good, and people love them, and Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson's there. Things are going well, and all of a sudden, Jared Goff comes over there, and oh, what a move bringing him in. It's turned fans around. Detroit's all about football now. They're great. They're in the playoffs. Things look good. People are buying Detroit Lions hats.
Title game.
And then guess what happens? Guess what happens?
Yeah.
You don't make the playoffs. Ben Johnson goes to Chicago. Your window just shut. Your window just shut. What's happened here is a pretty damn good thing. Like, in this whole organization, we can talk and, be mad about who should be offensive coordinator, who they should draft, who they shouldn't. The GM's not doing his job. Don't forget, these guys got 3 Super Bowl rings. I mean, that criticism of a team you're giving to them has 3 Super Bowl rings. For a town, didn't win playoff games for 22 years. You went from January 8th, 1970 to January 16th, 1994, not making an AFC title game. You went from January 16th, 94 to 2016 without winning a playoff game. It's not a God-given right to go to the Super Bowl. You can't have nice things all the time. Eventually, it comes back to the pack, and you have to hit the reset button, but you have to trust in those that have been to 3 straight Super Bowls, because guess what? Anybody else in this league? Hasn't been, man. Hasn't been. Joe Burrow has no rings. Josh Allen hadn't even been in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson's never been in the Super Bowl. Patrick freaking Mahomes has already been 5 times, and he just turned 30. Mm-hmm. But yet you would think that everything sucks, burn it all down, everything sucks.
I think we're letting a vocal minority get the best of us here. I think a lot of Chiefs fans, I think every Chiefs fan that's been around through the tough times thinks the way that you're thinking. It's not a God-given right to go. And more than anything, just, man, I've really enjoyed the last 8 years of Chiefs football. How special.
And Nathan, you've been around here. You know that, like Bob and Dusty and stuff like that would talk and be like, enjoy it. Because, I've heard people say, just enjoy it. Because that's what I would constantly do. 3 straight Super Bowls when you got to enjoy it. Enjoy this moment, because it's not always like this. It feels like it. Well, now when you're getting together, your family and friends to watch the Super Bowl, you're not freaking watching the Patriots. You're watching the Chiefs. Yeah. This is a privilege, man.
Going from the stuff I saw
Everybody
growing up to watching
pays the
them,
same.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Watching them play in 5 Super Bowls in 6 years, you never thought that would happen. But windows do close earlier than you think in the NFL. So I think it's very unrealistic for people to say they should have made changes earlier. We talked earlier about how I think the pass rush scouting has been lackluster. Everyone wanted Connor Embry out. I think it's time for a new voice in the offensive coordinator position. I can think all those things were true, but they were winning. It's very unrealistic to say they should have changed offensive coordinators after going to 3 straight Super Bowls. That's just not realistic unless he gets hired as a head coach. EB moved on because he thought he needed to get out of the shadow. Otherwise, he would still be here as the OC. Yeah. They were having success. Yeah. But I think this is the point where other teams that looked like they'd have dynasties, the Seahawks with Russell Wilson, the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, this is where they didn't make the decision to make changes after they took a step back. So I think it's equally as reasonable to expect the changes to happen this year, and I think they will.
And it's not exactly like it won't work. Remember Josh McDaniels? He keeps going back there, man. That's the lost dog that would go back to New England.
100%.
He'd go fail as a head coach, come right back to New England. He wouldn't take the Colts job even though he had it. Remember, they're going to have a press conference.
That was a crazy day, yeah.
He goes back to New England.
Uh-huh.
It's where you'd always end up. When guys do come back sometimes, because the culture, the sum of the whole is better than the parts. And to me, honestly, you could see the cracks in the foundation last year with the Chiefs. They were winning with smoke and mirrors, and they won this division by 5 games. That's incredible what they did with some of the talent they had, because they weren't a great team. They weren't a great team offensively. They were 15th in points per game. They weren't a great team offensively. They were 18th in sacks, but they found a way to win when it counted. They found a way to win in the postseason. But they're squeezing that blood out of the turnip, right? They're taking that water out of the sponge. Mm-hmm. They were getting the most out of what they had. Were the foundations cracked? Yeah, it was there. But I think they just want to keep riding it. Let's ride it as far as till the wheels fall off.
Of course.
We'll ride the tires for 60,000 miles until we desperately need to get new ones. And that's what they did.
Right. And that's a great way to put it, because it's why I'm not upset about, say, Chris Jones's cap hit this next season, right? When they signed that contract, they knew they'd be a year late on getting out from that contract, but they were winning Super Bowls, and they went back for the 3-peat with him. Same thing, maybe being a year late, moving on from Nagy. I don't know. Maybe Andy Reid. Maybe the Chiefs go 5-12 next year, and it's clear that Andy Reid has completely been passed by football.
Might happen.
I'm cool being a year late on firing him
100%.
too, because of what they've accomplished. I'd rather be winning with a cracked foundation than losing with good process.
Yeah, I look at it and I say Andy Reid's 3 wins behind Belichick for the all-time leader in postseason wins. 3. That's it. He's 4th all-time any coach in the history of NFL. He's gotten to 6 Super Bowls. He's won 3. And when people want him out, I'll say, okay, give me 5 names of somebody that's more successful that you want. And they can't do it. And, when you complain about a quarterback with 17 postseason wins, which I've heard that as well, with no weapons, no talent. So sometimes you just got to enjoy what you got, man. You got to enjoy it. Now, can we still complain about things and want different things and changes? Yeah, it's part of the game. I want to see them do well in the draft. This is their opportunity, like I said, Nathan. You know what I'm saying? With an offensive coordinator, because the job opening sign with the Chiefs doesn't open. Like that sign does not open. It does not turn on, right? It's usually locked into that coaching staff. To have a job open in Kansas City, take advantage of it. Take full advantage of that opportunity you have in front of you. And they will. Take a time out. I didn't get to what Peacock is doing with their football broadcast. And networks are copycats, and I think we'll get this all around next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Delden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements: more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with the network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back, Jim Inkley, Nathan Williams. Forgot to mention this. Bo Previla, the quarterback that was in Missouri this year, he hit that portal again, right? Former Penn State quarterback,
That's right.
hit the transfer portal, went to Missouri. He hit the portal again. He's going to Virginia. Virginia had a nice year, a great year this year. So he is now at Virginia, is where Previla is going. Is Austin Simmons now at Missouri, the former starter at Mississippi before he lost his job to Trinidad Chambliss.
That's right. I admittedly don't know a thing about Virginia's quarterback situation. I presume it's to start. Would be why he'd go there. Yes. Okay.
It is to start for that, so that would be good. So Bo Previla going to Virginia. Did you see what Peacock wants to do? Did you hear Peacock? I think Bob and Dusty might have been talking about this as well, but Yeah, they're kind of on innovation. We talked about score bugs earlier. How NBC changed. Everybody's trying to.
Yep.
Networks are really trying to, even though they don't really need to, because people are going to watch it anyway. Everybody's trying to outdo the Joneses, right? I got to make mine better. Got to make a better broadcast. Well, the thing about the NFL is they're going to watch it regardless, so you could have whatever you want. But NBC owns Peacock, so they're at it again with this, and people really like the quality of the picture that they have. But what they want to be able to do is. Well, before I get into this, remember, do you watch the Amazon Prime Thursday night games?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know there's two visions you can watch? You can watch the Prime Vision or the regular. Like, you can watch the regular broadcast. You can watch the regular broadcast with different things. They kind of make it look like a Madden game. They circle the receivers, the running backs. It's just a different way to watch the game. And it's really pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. The Amazon Prime Vision or regular broadcast when you're watching. And many people just put the game on and that's all you do. But if you go back through it on that menu, you can choose two different ways to watch it. But if you want to watch the game and turn the announcers off, you control your experience with maybe you just want the natural sound of the game. Maybe you want to hear the person in the press box going, 3rd down, and you want to hear the fans cheering, or you want to hear home of the Chiefs, or you want to hear, hear the chop, or hear whatever you want. But you can kind of detail what you want, immerse yourself in the experience. And I have a feeling this is just the way we're going to get it. I can't imagine how cool it is to watch football in virtual reality.
If they can give me...
Like, what, with those things on your face, I can't imagine how cool it is.
If they can give me an experience that feels like being in the stadium, hearing the crowd noise, the announcer, sign me up. The music on big downs, I'm all for it.
One of the things they want to do is have a feature from Awful Announcing where viewers can control the audio level for the game's announcers in the ambient crowd noise, meaning turn it way down. Turn it way down. Maybe you don't want to hear Kirk Herbstreit down my ankles. You turn it way down because you want to hear the roar of the crowd. And maybe people, that's what they want. Maybe they want that ambient sound in the background. Maybe like I said, maybe they want to listen to the radio broadcast.
Yeah. I mean, Tirico and NBC's crew is still okay, in my opinion. But I think really outside of Burkhardt and Brady, there's no announcing. There's no tandem all the way through.
Brady's been really good.
That's inspired me. I don't want to listen to Romo. Don't want to listen to Aikman. Can't stomach Al Michaels anymore, although he's my favorite of all time. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably utilize the option to turn the crowd noise pretty far up and the announcers down.
Who is coming back too, by the way? Al Michaels coming back. Yeah. And Herbstreit's very good at what he does, but I respect the hustle, man. That dude, they only show every week, like his plane flights, because he goes to college game day. And this week he went and did 2 playoff games, far apart from each other, from the Fiesta Bowl to Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and does the Bears game this weekend.
And he's as well prepared as any analyst is, too.
It's crazy.
He's not just got the full schedule. He's also, outworking these guys when he's not in the booth, too. Kirk Herbstreit, the guy just loves football.
And here's the one thing about it, and I will say this, when it seems like these guys are, really prepared and stuff, they have a lot of people working for them, too.
Sure.
If you and I were calling a high school game, we'd sit there and look at the stats and write things out and about what a receiver did last year, whatever. Well, that's all being given to them.
Yeah.
That's being given to them. They have people in the ear saying, hey, bring up his completion percentage and things like that. So, yes, I mean, it takes a lot of preparation. Obviously, you can tell the ones that are prepared and not. Mm-hmm. But there is a full staff of people. And Swanee, our friend Swanee from the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
Did you see Swanee at the with Sean McDonough? He's with McDonough and McElroy. He's in the booth with them doing stats.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Because it's how he started with college football. Keith Jackson, that's how Swanee started. It was stats with that. But there he is, the old Royals PR guy, who's retired now, up in the booth with McElroy and McDonough. Yeah. They even showed him on the last broadcast. They were showing the booth, and he even said, Sean McDonough, he goes, "There's Swanee." It's like, oh, man, you kidding me? That's where Mike Swanson ended up. But anyway, I just think any way you could enhance the broadcast or make it better would be great. But that Prime Vision is pretty cool. And I know a lot of people watch the Monday Night Football with a different version with the Peyton and Eli, just to
that
have
got
something
stale
different.
for me really quick. The first couple of years was cool, but it got stale really quick. I'm not trying to get repetitive here, I have never gotten on board with Troy Aikman. I still think he's full of himself. I don't think he adds a whole lot to the broadcast. I think Joe Buck gets too much hate. But again, the tandem together I can't stand. Really the only booth where I like both commentators
I'm with you.
is
I
Fox.
think Joe Buck really does work his ass off.
I think so too. I think he's great at what he does. But I don't think any network besides Fox has the pair right and both of those announcers right. So, if I had the option to either watch an alternative broadcast, turn up the crowd noise, whatever it is, I would explore that.
And I'll say this about Buck is what you always know you're doing your job if every single fan base that watches 100%. You hates you and thinks 100%. You want the other team to win. Because back when the Royals played the Giants in the World Series, the Giants fans thought he was kissing the Royals' butt, and vice versa. The Royals fans thought he was kissing the Giants' butt. Regardless, 7-6 now. Third quarter, 14:57 left. 7-6, Houston leads Pittsburgh. Nathan Williams, I know you got to be in here early tomorrow morning. I'll be listening.
Sweet. It was a good time, man.
All right,
Always
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very much. Nathan Williams. See you guys later.